that's one of the ones she actually said about it. I mean, it was worse than how she portrayed it.
He took siding off the front of her house.
Yeah.
And put it on the back.
This is no lie.
Okay.
He hired a guy while they were gone, and then had him live there.
Yeah. She went to Mexico. Wait a minute. He hires a homeless guy to do some work for him at the house, and he can live in the basement while they're there. Now, when we say all this, you've got to understand what this house looked like.
Oh, it wasn't good.
This was maybe a shack.
Well, he made it shack because he took all the stuff out of there and sold it, like the sinks and everything too.
He ripped the wires out of the wall.
Yeah.
Was he renting the house or supposed to be fixing it up? Or?
He was supposed to be fixing it up, but she went to Mexico for like a month.
Oh, and left him to his own devices.
He had a good look. He had a good face.
Yeah. My God, what is this?
I don't know.
Look at this.
What
you
doing
over here, man?
Tom on twist that every day comes in.
Ah, son of a bitch.
I don't know how it gets so...
I need some paper towels. Fuck. Goddamn Martino.
There's a hex on that.
It's because he fucking spills all the time.
Here. He has spilled?
I have not spilled!
I don't know what to say.
I have not spilled!
Wow!
Fuck.
Wow!
It's booby trapped over there.
Fucking Tom.
It's got too many cords.
If he didn't spill all the time, I wouldn't have spilled.
You're going to have IT on your ass. Spilling all the equipment.
God. It's ridiculous.
Make sure the lids are on.
Thanks, Clint.
Yeah, I know.
Gosh.
God.
I hope your headphones work.
My daughter dropped a couch on me Sunday.
Of course.
Can you live with these, or can you live with this? I'm going to get you my coffee here.
God, that was ridiculous.
Let's be sure to tell Tom, Dan.
I don't know. We will.
Somebody's holding up an end to something.
There was a cartoon called, I think Beavis and Butthead had Cornholio.
Cornholio!
Because your last name, have you ever heard that?
No, I didn't.
I don't know, 4,000 times, something like that.
Really?
Oh my
You were a
God.
big Beavis and Butthead guy?
I literally my whole life. That was when I was a kid. That was, you know, so.
It was the best.
Yeah.
That, I'll tell you, if you've ever seen the movie, when they're in that trunk of the car and they're trying to open it, and it's doing about 70, and he goes, just run real quick when you jump and you'll be fine.
My
The
son.
original stoners. You know,
They were the
they
best.
put Cheech and Chong like they were choir boys.
They did nothing but sit in front of the TV. But that one where they went on vacation is so funny. First time I saw that movie, I couldn't stop laughing. Just run when you get out. If you run fast enough, you'll be fine.
My son that was in
I've
here,
done it
my
all the
daughter-in-law, used to go to Halloween things and everything at Beavis and Butthead. God, they did that for years.
Now, my intro music's playing. I'll call you after the show. Bye.
When he does something wrong and you will praise him with something right, you are very rare among the talk show hosts, so I appreciate you. And I think it's really funny and irrelevant for people. I don't know if our roots are really good. That's right. That would be boring, wouldn't it? Start your day with
What is the hotline, or what do we call it?
Hotline. Helpline.
866-966-HELP?
Nope. I got that one.
Welcome to the show. As you know, it's the only show of its kind. We solve problems. We answer questions. We take complaints. We get directly involved in your life. We try to help you out. Listen, Tom's been doing this. My God, Martino's been around since, I don't know, the Stone Ages. I'm just kidding, but he's been around a long time, to the tune of, ready for this, $200 million in cash merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services that this show that he has created has recovered for people like you. If you've been ripped off, you take advantage of. This show does a couple things. One, I can't stress enough when I say directly involved. You know how many lawsuits we have going right now, holding people's hands, suing people that have done them wrong? Lots and lots. We actually send out the paperwork. We'll walk you through it. In fact, Deputy Dan was just walking through someone filling out a lawsuit not long ago. The other thing we do is we can warn you about the bad guys out there, the bad contractors, the bad scammers, the scumbags, quite frankly, the sleazeballs. And while I think of that, I want you to go to sleazebrigade.com. In fact, I've got a new member, hopefully, that'll be up there soon. I've got to tell you something about what I've been dealing with overnight. I can only say it's angst. You know why I say that? That's my word of the day, angst. And here's why. I started thinking about a case from way back. Jay Lopez, if you listen to the show, this dirtbag, scumbag, deadbeat, and he really truly is, would show up at your house, get 50% down for concrete work. Whether it was your driveway or a patio, something. He would give you the best price out there. He'd advertise on Craigslist. He'd come out. He'd say, give me 50% down. I'll start this weekend. He would take half your money, and not once did he ever come back. And I'm talking 10, 15, 20 people. And I bring up Jay Lopez for a reason. He ended up going to jail, but I bring him up for a reason. Yesterday, we had a guy who owns a company. The owner of the company is Lance Slayton. Okay? And I've got to tell you, I started thinking very hard about this guy, and I want to know your thoughts on it. I started thinking, what's the difference between Jay Lopez and Lance Slayton? And I do want to know. Jay Lopez literally had no intention of ever doing anything. So time would go by, and over the years, tens of thousands of dollars this man took, Lopez. Now, Lance Slayton's a little different. But I'm not sure how different. He took $7,000 from a caller who called yesterday. His name is Sam. He took it in September of last year. $7,000. The job was going to be $13,500. I've looked at the contract. It was for a roof. $13,500. He gives him $7,000 down. Now, what happens after that is the adjuster comes out, and there's more damage. The adjuster agrees to another $20,000, $25,000, whatever it happens to be. The caller, Sam, decides, well, that's fine. I'm getting more money from my insurance company, but I'm not going to use these guys to do it. So what is Lance Slayton, who owns the company, and it's called, what is it, Preferred Companies? The name is so stupid, I don't even know what to say. Is it Preferred Companies?
Yes, Mark.
Preferred Companies, that's the name of it. He jumps in and says, well, I'm not going to do anything. And I want you to reach out to him. He said he'd come on the air today, so I'm hoping Lance would come on. And he actually said to me on the phone yesterday, you ready for this one? He actually said, well, I'm not going to give him his money back. He's had the money 7 or 8 months now, has done nothing. Not one shingle dropped off, nothing. He doesn't want to do the original scope of work that was on the contract, which I would argue he can't even hold him to this contract. It's 8 months, the guy's done nothing. He doesn't answer emails, he doesn't do anything. But my angst comes down to this. Are they the same? Is Jay Lopez, who has the intention of ripping people off when he shows up, taking half the money, the deposit never coming back, is there any difference between him? You know what? Here's the difference. I think Lopez is a scumbag. How's that? Now, Lance Slayton, in my opinion, is a sleazeball. Because you know what he said to me when I talked to him off air? And I'm going to go directly to our guest, one of my favorite guys to have in, Matt Corneo with Compass Insurance. And we are going to do we're going to save people money today. But, Matt, I've got to ask you something in the insurance business. You know what this sleazeball, in my opinion, in fact, Lance, you truly are a sleazeball, in my opinion. You know what this guy says, Matt? He says, well, this is insurance fraud. This guy's trying to commit insurance fraud. His insurance company is giving him more money, and he's supposed to give it to me. Where does he come off saying that? If I have a contract, which I do, on my house with my insurance company, if I have hail damage, a lot of times I could play general contractor if I wanted to. I could do the whole job and hire different people. Sure. My insurance company, Liberty Mutual, would probably even pay me 10% to play that role. I can do whatever the hell I want with my insurance money. If there's 40 grand worth of damage, and I didn't go out there with a hammer and create the damage, and it's actual real damage, not fraudulent damage, They write me a check for the $40,000. I can do whatever I want with that money. Tell me where the fraud is, Matt. I'm asking you, is there any fraud there?
I can't think of any.
There's zero fraud there. This idiot, Lance Slayton, was telling me this guy's committing fraud. Please, let's try to get Lance the idiot, in my opinion, on, because I want him to explain to me how this is fraudulent. And for the listeners, please, I want to know, is there a difference between Lance Slayton that takes $7,000 in September, doesn't want to give the money back, isn't going to do anything, and says now his reasoning not giving this guy Matt his money back, or Sam, I'm sorry, not giving it back is this: it's insurance fraud. It's not insurance fraud, you dummy. It's not. You're a moron. You're an absolute moron, Lance, if that's what you believe. And I beg you to come on the air and explain to me where the fraud is. Tell me where the fraud is. There is no fraud. He has an agreement. You know, some of us own our houses outright. My agreement with my insurance company is my agreement. There's no fraud in taking the money. They say we will cover the value. And Matt, on top of this, his was actual cash value. They just write him a check for whatever the actual cash value is.
When you say his was actual cash value, his policy was written that way?
Yes,
or,
for the roof.
Gotcha, okay.
So they cut him a check.
Then it is what it is. They don't even have to come up with a supplement check, most likely.
They don't have to come up with anything. When they came out and found more damage, it was on other stuff. Or they underestimated the original stuff. It didn't matter. The insurance company said, here's your damages. He decided he'd take what they gave him.
Well, and why would they give him more money if he hasn't done any work anyway in the first place?
Because they came out, this guy, this Lance Slayton, or whoever he sent out. Oh, my God, I just thought of that part of this. Wait till I tell you the other part to this story and what this sleazebag company did. Listen, okay, I gotta digress for a second. I'm choking on my own words. Let's go back to what you said. So they came out, there was a hailstorm, there was whatever. Whatever happened, the guy needs his roof looked at. They said it was going to be $13,500, and boom, he writes him a check for that $7,000. Now, a week or so goes by, his insurance adjuster comes out and meets with Lance Slayton, meets with the moron, in my opinion. They, along with the adjuster, go over everything and basically find another $20,000 plus in damages. They send the check directly to their client, which, in my opinion,
which is what they're supposed to do.
That's right. And he decides, well, I don't want any more work done from these guys, maybe the original scope, the $13,500, but that's when Lance pops in and says, no, we're going to do everything. You need to send us that check. He's got no right to demand that check. He's got zero right to demand that check. And then he starts saying the guy is committing insurance fraud. There's no fraud there. I don't understand why anybody in their right mind, well, I keep forgetting he's a moron, Lance Slayton, in my opinion, and it's driving me nuts. Where is the insurance fraud? That's all he could say on the phone yesterday after the show. Insurance fraud, insurance fraud, insurance fraud. And I said, so you're going to give him the money back? It's not insurance fraud. No, I guess I'll keep it. And I said, okay, that's the quote I'm going to use. The quote I'm going to use is, I'm going to keep the money. That's exactly what Lance told me yesterday. And it drives me insane. But here's what happened, and I promise I'll get to the calls, but this guy, and I'm going to give his phone number out. In fact, someone put it up on my screen so the moron can get calls. Maybe if you want to give someone $7,000 and have 7 or 8 months go by and never get anything, I want you to call Lance Slayton. He'll help you out there. So he had an employee. Here's how it goes down, Matt. This is even crazier. This guy, Sam, calls one of our referral list members, a great roofing company, Roofworks. Roofworks sends out an employee, okay? The employee's name is Tom Howell. And what I've learned is his last name is perfect because it's Tom Howell, take your money, because that's what he does. So he actually said, oh, don't use Roofworks. Don't use Roofworks. I also represent this other company. Don't say anything. This is on the down low. I want you to go with this guy, Lance Slayton. I want you to go with preferred companies. It's going to be cheaper. We'll probably save you money. Whatever the conversation was. Remember, he's working for Roofworks. Roofworks fired his ass yesterday. So Tom Howell, it's how he's going to find a new job now, is no longer with that company, thank God. He talks him into this other company, gets the guy's $7,000 check, and 8 months later. Folks, watch it out there. Remember what Jay Brett says all the time. Don't pay a cent until you're content. He's a contractor. He's a roofer. At least pay with a credit card and don't go with some scumbag. Now, I really do want to hear from people. Really, really, truly want to hear. Is Lance Slayton different than Jay Lopez? My gut says yes. Yes. One's a sleazeball, in my opinion, and one's a scumbag, in my opinion. One's got a horrible criminal history, the other doesn't. I will say that. Lance, I pulled your criminal background. It looks like you had a speeding ticket or so. But other than that, you were pretty good. You were probably speeding away with someone's money, in my opinion. I'm not sure. But it's driving me insane the more I think about you. And I hope you come on the air today. We're going to reach out to you in a minute on break, and I'll give you all the time in the world to come on. And you know what? You can even be boisterous and loud. You can overtalk me. All I want you to do, though, is show me the fraud. Show me the insurance fraud. Now, listen, we've got an update coming up on Jessica. This is an old case. You've been listening to the show for a while. This one goes back a year. My God, you won't believe this. It was with I-25 Roofing and Restoration. Dan and I went out there. She went to Mexico, and what happened, Dan, while she was in Mexico and this roofer was there?
The guy got a homeless guy to work for him, and he moved her into her house, took the wiring out of the house, took the sinks out of the house.
The fixtures.
And when he did the siding, he took the good siding from the back and moved it to the hail damage in front.
He actually wrote up an insurance claim that got approved for hail and for siding. He literally moved siding from one area to the house to the other and took the money.
And then he put the decking on. He only put it on half the house.
Half the roof. It was... We walked into this house. It was crazy. It was like a fun house. It's some kind of strange amusement park on Halloween. Wires were ripped out. Fixtures were missing. Homeless people are living there. It was crazy.
This is true.
All right. 303-713-8255. 303-713-8255. We have a couple lines open. I do want to hear your opinion, though, on those two people. Okay, Frank Duran, the real estate man, one of the best guys out there. He met with our good family friend yesterday. They're moving forward. They're going to get her house sold. Here's what I love about Frank Duran, the real estate man. He's going to make more for than any other realtor that I ever have met. Simple as that. This guy is incredible. Absolutely incredible at what he does. And here's what he does. There's no real secret sauce here, but I'll tell you what he does. He's such a good negotiator. He figures out how to get a bidding war. He prices it just right for the area to where you're going to get a ton of action. Then he's going to look at all the offers. Some of them might be contingent on a sale. Some of them might be cash. Some of them might be ready to go right now. Then he creates this bidding war. Next thing you know, that asking price is driven up, and you're dealing with the best offers on the table. He's an incredible man. 303-920-1622, 303-920-1622, or frankduranhomes.com.
This was the only one I've seen where she actually didn't say how bad it really was.
You mean it was worse than what we saw?
Than what it really was. Seriously, to say a shack is actually upgrading that house.
Who keeps yanking these mic socks off around here?
Well, people switch them out all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I got a question for you, Matt. Do you guys mind public adjusters? You know, when your customer has a claim or whatever. So that
I don't mind.
doesn't bother you guys
No,
at
I don't
all?
mind it. We don't deal with enough issues to recommend them all the time,
Right,
because
right.
we actually have an in-house claims liaison. But sure, absolutely.
No, to call them.
No, they don't.
Right.
At USAA, I mean, they would do right for the customer no matter what, so this probably wasn't ever going to happen there, but
We don't seem to deal with them often. It blows my mind how many people are using these roofers that come from Kansas and Texas, and they chase those, and they're literally not around 2 months after. It's incredible to me how. And they'll get them to sign a contract, and then they scare them with that contract.
Door knockers, yeah.
Yep.
And they, hey, I just did your neighbors down the house.
Yeah, that's the classic.
I do need, would you please put up the phone number, or Dan go in there and put it up for me? I need that guy's phone number.
Which
Lance.
of course, it did overwhelm me.
No, the last 5 have been a joke. Every year it seems to get worse.
I don't know what she said.
Every year it seems to get worse.
Even the good roofing companies got overwhelmed by this. They couldn't get materials. They couldn't get.
Well, their body shops are overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Oh, now they're starting to settle down.
I've never seen like it. We've had 2 years in a row where literally you couldn't even get a body shop to get a car done, or it'd take a couple of months.
We had that one company.
Oh, that company. Wow, did they even came on.
Yeah,
They came on and they.
That one that's putting people in rental cars forever.
Right. But the thing about it, then they switched out and they stopped paying the rental company, and then these guys got hit by
Your
the rental.
question yesterday about how long if a rental car gets totaled,
Yeah.
how long do they have to?
That wasn't yesterday.
Yeah. Well,
Yesterday.
yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, I watched it. I called Enterprise Leasing. I went through 11 phone numbers. I called the insurance.
Oh,
company's
yeah.
office.
You mean the loss of use?
Yeah, loss of use.
They have to
Nope.
now substantiate
Nobody
that
answered
their
that question.
vehicle. I can tell you based on lots of claims that we've come up with now, the insurance companies now finally have the upper hand on that, because it used to be essentially if that vehicle is damaged, they would charge you the full loss of use, sometimes a month or whatever. They now have to substantiate that vehicle, they don't have a like vehicle in their inventory to be able to charge loss of use.
Or they
It's
couldn't,
really
or they're
last
totally
year.
sold out, right?
So it is literally, because that used to be a huge profit center.
Oh, I'll bet.
It's gone.
I'll bet.
Oh, yeah.
That is
Dan
now
found
gone.
out that
Yep. A caller.
Visa.
Yeah. Said Visa actually covers that.
They do. American Express, depending on the
Okay.
card you have, will cover it. But what has happened now is they're not having to pay a lot of these claims because they have to show that same vehicle size and whatnot, they don't have another one to replace it in their inventory.
You're right. I mean, can you imagine?
But this was a total
Now
loss
it's
on the front.
Yeah, and so,
So it's-
so what they'll do with it, they'll do the same thing where
They
they'll
just
give
gotta
them
bring
a
another one in
period of
from
time.
another.
That's right.
Yeah, they just got to bring one.
would
in from
you
another.
buy that insurance?
well,
I
I charge it
don't.
on Visa. You put it on your Visa.
Yes.
Now it's taken
I
care
never
of.
do. I use a card that will take care of it. I never buy
I didn't
it.
know that was in there
I
and
never
stuff
buy
now
it.
until.
Yeah.
I always buy physical damage if you're out of the country, and that's about it.
Yeah, we almost have to.
So that's about it.
When you go to Mexico,
makes
you
buy
rent a
that
car?
weird
Never.
Okay.
No, see, now that's a
I would-
criminal offense there, so it's totally different than a civil offense. You don't want to be driving in Mexico.
What do you mean?
Totally.
So an automobile accident is considered a criminal offense, and that's how they investigate it. And so I actually know someone that got into an accident there and spent the night in jail. Spent the night in a Mexican jail. So not what you want to have happen.
Sounds fun.
I heard
Yeah.
in Mexican jails,
Experience of a
the
lifetime.
only way you eat is if you have people bring in food. They don't feed you.
Buy it, yeah.
You don't want to be in any trouble in Mexico,
No.
in any way.
I can't believe people
Okay.
deal drugs and stuff out of Mexico. Look what they deserve.
All right, you got to hear this. I just got this in, and this, by the way, this hour is brought to you by Fix It 24/7 Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Listen to this review. I just got it sent to me by a listener. After hearing a review on the Tom Martino Troubleshooter Show, I decided to call Fix It 24/7. I requested the $39 special. What a great deal. I've got a 20-year-old furnace. He thought he was going to get sold a bunch of stuff, but he wasn't. He only got better from there. Andy, who was a tech, came to my house. He was the most thorough, informed me that he was the most informed tech I have ever encountered, taking pictures before and after. I didn't know they did that. They cleaned it. They pulled the blower motor. They adjusted all of the systems. They checked the rewiring that had been replaced a few years ago by a different company and apparently wired incorrectly. And with no pressure, he informed me that my furnace was in good working order and didn't need any work at this time. He is now a loyal customer. Listen, they're going to offer that again. $39 will get a certified HVAC tech out there to clean the furnace. The real deal. Put the blower motor, pull it out, clean it, get the whole thing clean, tell you what's going on with it. If there is any issues, they want to be your one-stop company for all your HVAC needs. Air conditioning season's coming up. If you need an AC, they're going to want you to call them. Take advantage of this $39 tune-up. 720-526-3939. I think they only do 10 at a time, though. 720-526-3939. Fix it 24/7. All right. Do we have Lance? Did we reach out to Lance? Did he want to come on?
Oh, I didn't. I just thought you wanted his number up.
No.
I'll call him.
Nope. Keep his number up. Try him one time. See if we can get him on. Then I'll let people know his number. Hopefully he'll come on and tell me how this guy is creating insurance fraud and everything else in the world. Just give the guy his $7,000 back. Cynthia, what's going on with you? Then Jessica, we'll get to that I-25 roofing update after this. Cynthia, you're up.
Hey, Mark, I sure love you, and I've been listening to you guys for so
Suzanne,
long.
calm down. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere.
Huh?
Go ahead, Cynthia.
Oh, no, I love how you push back on Tom. That's great.
What do you mean push back on Tom? What does that mean?
Well, you guys make a good team. I
Okay,
like
thank you.
Acknowledging him. You sound just like him.
See, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
I didn't know his voice was as sexy as mine. But, Cynthia, what's going on?
Well, I have an HOA challenge, and I need either an attorney or your...
What is it?
Our HOA does not enforce code violations equitably to all.
We get that a lot. So, in other words, like what? One guy's not bringing in his trash cans, he gets a ticket.
No.
Everybody else, what is it?
No, it's regarding security camera installation, and they can only inspect from the street, you know, when they drive around, and so people that, you know, don't submit a form for a prior approval, if someone complains about their camera and it can be seen, then they get a code violation. But it doesn't mention anything about doorbell cameras.
Well, who cares if you can't see a doorbell camera?
Right. So, but all cameras have to be approved by the ARC.
Well, I'd like to see that paperwork. So you're saying if you put up a camera, even if it's inconspicuous, you can't put a camera up without... Is this, I'm sorry, is this a townhome? What is this?
It's a Green Valley Ranch HOA, and the code enforcement...
Yeah, but is it, what kind, is it a single-family dwelling? What is it?
I'm a homeowner.
Okay, but it's just a single-family home, right?
Right.
And you're saying if they put up... Okay, I'm trying to figure this out. I understand if you put up a big, bulky camera facing somewhere onto the street or driveway, you're saying they need to get a permit. But you were also saying if they put up one of those Ring doorbell cameras, which, I mean, you can't even see it, they're supposed to get one as well?
And I didn't say permit. I'm saying the ARC review.
Well, okay, fine, reviewed. I mean, they want it be permitted to put it up, right?
Right.
So, but what do you care, Cynthia? Let me jump to that. Does one of your neighbors have a doorbell one that you don't think they didn't go through what they were supposed to, but you had to? I mean, cut to the chase on it.
Well, I got a violation on a camera that was moved so it could get more street view, and I didn't get approval first. And a neighbor that I've had problems with complained. It's not, and I showed the HOA where the cameras were, because 3 of them you can't see, and this particular one you can. And so the rules weren't even adopted about security cameras until 2014, and very few homeowners that attend the meeting didn't receive notification of this adoption.
God, Cynthia, I mean, you might just plead your case to the board, but I don't even know what to tell you. If that's the rules, you're supposed to go through whatever you need to go through, whatever steps, whatever hoops in order to put up a camera. That's the way it is. My real advice is get on the HOA, take it over, and change the rules, because it's ridiculous. If I had a house where if I wanted to put a security camera up, I got to jump through hoops, I wouldn't like it. So my best advice to you is take over the board, and I'm not kidding. Maybe call up. I mean, don't create noise for all your other neighbors because they have cameras no one knows exist.
No, I wasn't going to do that. I just wanted a distinction, you know, because I don't think it's right, you know, and there's a $250 fine assessment involved. And,
well, call up and plead ignorance on that. Well, it's probably going to be hard to do if you did the first time, but do what you can to get rid of it. But, okay, it's not fair. I mean, I've been pulled over for speeding, now granted, not in 20 years, where other people have been flying by going faster. I can't look at the cop and go, I mean, one time I got pulled over, and sure enough, my wife was driving even faster than me in another car. I said, how come you didn't pull her over?
But Mark.
Yes?
there are rules in this particular green book, is what they call it.
Yeah, I understand, Cynthia.
And
I mean, okay, so then go tell them, hey, this neighbor over here that lives here has a Ring doorbell camera they need to get defined to, and then this one over here does, and then this one. What good is any of that going to do, Cynthia?
No, I would never do that. I'm trying to plead my case and get that fee waived, because if they're not going to enforce everybody the same...
It doesn't. They don't have to enforce everybody the same. Go ahead. You're chomping.
Didn't they give you a warning prior to they give you a fine?
The violation notice came the same day I made complied with the request to submit a form for approval. They approved the form, and they wanted me to show that I had it since 2013, and it was grandfathered in, which are rules that only they know about, because the bylaws don't say how grandfathered in works or
Cynthia,
anything.
I know this is a big issue to you. You're either going to have to pay the fine or not, or take over the board. I mean, there's no other way here. I don't know what the other neighbors have to do with it. I know it's not fair. Unfair things happen all the time with HOAs. I've had one years ago in Parker, Clark Farms. I had a neighbor that had a trailer parked next to his house. You can't have that. But I had another neighbor that had a nicer trailer parked next to his house. The ugly one, of course, got the ticket, and the guy said the same thing. This isn't fair. Well, the truth of the matter is, one was an eyesore, one wasn't, and I'm sure one got a lot more complaints. 303-713-8255. By the way, coming up on the 11th, Centeno Schultz, these guys are unbelievable. They're the real stem cell deal, and what I mean by that is every chiropractor in the world, and I say this all the time, started doing, not only do they crack backs now, but you can walk in there and get stem cells, but they're not even real stem cells. If you hear that they ship in the stem cells, they're not stem cells. They're not living stem cells. The ones that do it properly, and if you come to this thing on April 11th, Tom's going to be there, I'm going to be there. It's with Centeno Schultz. In fact, Deputy Clint just said he's going too. But if you have any kind of pain in your knees or your hip, maybe your back, your shoulders, your hands, painful joints, these guys can help you. They actually harvest. Listen to me. They go into your bone marrow. God, that sounds painful, but they say it's not. They go in to your bone marrow. They harvest your own stem cells. They bring it to their lab right in their own facility. They do whatever they do to it back there. They make it strong. They make it potent. Then they use a guided needle, a guided injection to put it where the pain is, whether it's your joints, knees, hips, backs. These guys are curing people, they're helping people, and they're making people feel better, and they're making their lives better. I urge you to come to the seminar. For more information, call now and reserve a spot. 303-963-9201. Centeno Schultz, the real deal stem cells. 303-963-9201. 303-963-9201 or referralist.com.
This is Denver's Top.
What's the update?
Matt, if you can go to that thing on the 11th, stem cell stuff, because I've went to some of their stuff, this is absolutely the future of all of our health. In 10 years, 90% of what's done with scalp will be done with the needle. Is amazing.
I worked something
People
out
need
with
to
the
know about
homeowner
it.
yesterday.
Of course, we have 90% fakes
I
out
get
there.
that from Sam. He goes, no, you can get that from Sam.
They're curing
So I called Sam.
type
Sam
1
said he did
diabetes
leave
right
you a
now.
voicemail last night on your cell phone.
Some form of Alzheimer's and,
Maybe it was your direct line. I bet it was 106. I bet it was.
ACL tears.
Anyway, Sam says that
Amazing stuff.
that Lance acknowledges he owes him the money,
Born
and
blind.
that he is going to try to get it to him by the end of the week.
Okay, cool.
So that's the update. I was hoping you would do a tease, like, hey, Sue's talking to Lance, there's an update.
We'll do it. We'll do it when we come back. I'll tease you and take a different call.
We'll tease. Hey, what good is radio if there's no tease?
Got a tease.
The insurance question coming in online, whatever it is, he wants to know about homeowners when it's a home he lives in compared to a home that's in trust that someone else lives in, okay? And the difference in pricing. So, or if there
Can
is
you believe that
difference.
moron sat there on the phone yesterday telling me that line of shit, that this guy's insurance fraud? Fucking jack off.
Apparently he was really apologetic.
His dad should have worn a condom.
But I did tell Sam we would not keep him long. He was on hold for like 3 hours yesterday.
Should have shot him in the sheath.
Troubleshooter show, please hold.
God. Oh, you guys are bad today.
Ah, he's horrible, man.
Yeah.
You should have heard this guy. In fact, he was so adamant that I knew his back was up in the air and he was freaked out. People panic. They react stupidly.
Yeah, well,
In a stupor.
In a stupor.
when you're going to accuse somebody of something criminal, you better know what the hell you're talking about.
Oh, I think that's very common with these roofers and stuff.
Oh, the next thing they start, he goes, you don't know anything about the roofing business.
Every one of them that I've had sent up on the police brigade, I figured out in 30 seconds of talking to them. You know, they're immediately defensive and name calling.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
Oh, yeah.
They don't fight it for us much. I saw a thing downstairs. I'll have to ask you about it later. It's about a case a year and a half ago that that this guy works for the EPA, and I wonder if that has anything to do with our asbestos thing. Or,
I don't know. I think this guy's been doing it, but I don't think anybody's ever complained about it. Because we know.
Johnson?
Jim Johnson.
yeah.
Gosh, that's pretty scary, though.
Jimmy
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Now, was it
Did you see the
1,400 or
pictures?
14,000?
I'm on the police brigade thing. Oh, is there pictures on that one?
Look at the track.
She
Look at
sounds
the
like
police
she's kind
brigade.
of
Yeah, I've been looking at all of the.
You know, look at this guy. Look what he did with the asbestos stuff.
Yeah. The people have.
Click on the story.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on the story now.
Yep. Look. Right out front.
By the way, once they have a license, if they have a log that they have to log and get the ticket, number from there is 2 disposal places in Colorado.
Did you know that the Stapleton control
Man, you're as
tower
good as Kruger.
Is loaded with asbestos.
has no asbestos in the stairs? Do you know why?
No, say that again. I'm sorry.
The Stapleton control tower has no asbestos, even though it was built way back when, in the stairs. Do you know why?
It's carpeted.
Because there are no stairs.
There are no stairs.
No, there's no elevator.
Oh, damn it, there's Run, bitch!
Blew it.
Damn it!
Have you ever been in metal buildings where they spray that foam shit all over the inside of it?
Asbestos?
Yeah.
Well, this
Not anymore.
control tower had asbestos sprayed.
Sure. Well, back then, everything like
As long as it wasn't messed with.
Right.
Yeah.
You get some idiot like Johnson coming in with, a fucking, what do you think he
we don't
used,
know.
a scraper
We
and
don't
a
know.
hammer?
We don't know. And stuff,
Scraper and a dust buster truck.
Yeah, but he gets there at 8 a.m. and he's gone by 3.
But you see the stuff that he had in there. I'll bet you he wetted it down and did it because his bags didn't look like dust. It looked like wetted material.
I was trying to get that out of her. I got a bunch of stuff to ask her.
Yeah, but you heard, the actual results of the test.
Sure. No.
There is no doubt he fucking
No, I totally
did
agree.
a horrible job.
I got a memory.
Quit cussing.
And the furnace.
Yeah. 33,474. I got that number memorized.
I haven't said I got to tell you once.
No, you did once.
I did?
Yeah, once.
Fuck.
I caught it.
I don't even know when I say it.
No. I caught it yesterday when you were on block. But you know what? It's not. Now that you made me aware
No,
of it.
but now that I'm aware of it, it drives me crazy. I never even, when I wasn't aware of it, I was fine.
Do you want me to make kick marks or?
One clear choice. Garage doors! If you're sick of that noisy, chain-driven machine that every time you open it, it shakes the house, call these guys. They've got a deal over there you're not going to beat. It's an 8355 LiftMaster. Fully installed at your house. It's belt-driven. It is so quiet. You've got to give these guys a call. It comes with the battery backup, the time-to-close feature, the whole deal. Under $400 installed. Plus, they'll check your door. They'll check the rollers. They'll do a tune-up on it. These guys are great. Chappie runs a heck of a deal over there. One Clear Choice Garage. In fact, in Castle Rock, they have a showroom. You can check out their new doors. They do the whole bit, but you're not going to beat the deal on this. If you're sick of that old one or you want a new one, call them right now, 303-565-6409, 303-565-6409. Now, Suzanne, you talked to Lance.
I did.
And what did Lance have to say?
Well, I asked him if he wanted to come on the air and give his side. He said no. He worked out something with the homeowner, Sam, last night on the phone. So
Excellent.
I've got Sam on 4 for you.
And I am dying for this. Sam, how are you, sir?
Good, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing good. So what did Lance have to tell you after our conversation on air yesterday, sir?
So he called me, and he was remorseful and apologetic.
Wow.
No confrontation, no claims of me doing anything
No
wrong.
insurance fraud and this and
No
that.
fraud. Said he knows he owes me the money. He handled it poorly, and he wants to pay me.
You know what? I am impressed by I was going to say Sam, but by Lance. When is he going to give you the money?
He hopes to have it to me in a week.
Oh, that scares the hell out of me. See,
it's a little scary.
You know what? Here's why it's scary. Why a week? Does he got to go get it from somebody else? Now, that's not going to affect you, but why? Why a week?
Mark, I don't know.
Okay.
I think he probably had a bunch of personal issues that got in the way of
Now,
his
hold
business.
on. Here's what I'm going to do. In fact, hand me that mic there. I'm going to play me. Hand me that mic right there. Swing it over. I'm going to play Tom and me, because if this call was here and Tom was here and I was sitting over there and here and now I'm in both places, here's how it would go. Tom would say, oh, that's great. This guy's going to pay you back in a week. We need to give him every chance possible. Well, I don't know, man. Tom, I really don't think that's going to, I don't know, a week. Why wouldn't he have the money right? We got to give the guy an opportunity. Yeah, but I'm telling you, this guy, I mean, you heard him yesterday, the insurance fraud, and he was going to do all... Mark, we've got to give him the opportunity. Okay, man, I just got a bad feeling about this. Let's see what happens. Okay, good. Okay, I'm glad for that update, Sam. We'll see what happens in about a week, all right?
Sounds good.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Mark. Now,
by all means, I'm not making fun of my mentor. I am simply saying that is a conversation that would have unfolded no matter how you look at it. Dan, am I correct in saying that?
I think you would have been a little louder than that.
You're saying I'm generally not that quiet or loud, or
That's what I'm
the argument could have been louder?
A little bit.
I hope, Lance, you do the right thing. All kidding aside, Lance, I appreciate you coming through with there, and I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to take the high road here. I'm going to leave it alone, and hopefully you pay him back in the week. You said you were remorseful. In fact, I couldn't have asked for a better update, with the exception that he got to $7,000 back. Now, I would like to do this. Dan, true lunch bet. 7 days, does he have the money back? I'll let you even choose.
Give him a week and a half.
10 days.
10 days.
All right, let's give him 10 days. Either way, you're going to owe me lunch.
How much money is he going to get?
Either way.
Well,
Heads I win, tails you lose.
You owe us lunch, so...
What did you make of Lanzo? Did he sound remorseful when you talked to him, Suzanne?
He was curt, but not rude.
Okay, good.
So...
You know, here's the deal. This is media with a purpose. And Tom created this spotlight we call radio years ago. And we find people, and we put the spotlight on them. And sometimes they do the right thing, and hopefully Lance did do the right thing. All right, 303-713-8255. 303-713-8255. One line open. Jessica, let's get to this update. So this came in. When did this first come in, Dan? You've got the whole file. Yeah, actually, we're like a police department here. We legitimately have an entire folder here on her. And, Jessica, it was incredible. The story you called with, this was one of the ones where I said, there is no way this lady's making something up. This story's too crazy to be real. But sure enough, you went to Mexico. You hired this contractor. He literally moved in some homeless people that were helping him do the work, right?
Correct.
It's crazy. So this went back to when? When did you first call?
It was last spring, right? About almost a year ago.
God, it's amazing.
A year ago, I believe in March, yes.
This is one of the risky things we have found. And I'll tell you why it's risky. We told her, you need to sue this guy. Actually, she already sued him before we showed up.
Yep, in small claims,
You took him to small claims court for what, $7,500 or whatever? How much did he take?
I took him for $7,500.
Okay, so here's what he did with his attorney. And tell me if I get these facts wrong, because I'm going back a year. I'm not Tom. I can't remember stuff that happened in the 30s. So here's what I recall. Exactly. We go out there. You were in the middle of suing him. He decided he was going to countersue you for above the $7,500, which takes it out of small claims court.
Correct.
How much did he sue you for? And what was his counterclaim? What was he suing you for?
He was suing me for the remaining amount left
of the contract.
correct.
Now, I cannot explain to people listening how he did more damage than anything. Half the roof decking was missing. He took siding from one part of your house and literally put it on the back where the claim was made, on the hail side of the house. He also took out electric cables. He took out wiring. He dug up your floor. What did he do? Did he legitimately do anything?
Well, not really. He, like you said,
Demo.
he put decking on half the house and some shingles on the house.
Okay.
And I think
So this
he bought one gutter.
This update coming up, and I hate to do this to everybody, but I'm going to tease it over. This update, I'm going to tell you what's going on with this story now. In fact, we're going to go out on assignment really soon, but please, Jessica, hold tight. And the people we're talking about, by the way, in my opinion, I'd stay far away from them, is I-25 Roofing. But we will come back to her right after this break. Now, this guy at I-25 hopefully will call Joseph A. Lazera. He's a criminal law attorney, and this guy is the best out there. If you've gotten yourself in trouble in any form, but, you know, he does a lot of DUIs, because unfortunately there's a lot of DUIs going on all the time. But if you get falsely accused of a DUI, or maybe you screwed up and you had a little too much to drink and you left the restaurant, you didn't know, and boom, you get popped, call Joseph A. Lazera. Don't go at it alone. In fact, if you're in any form of trouble and the police are involved, you don't want to do it by yourself. Joe knows all the people. He knows the judges. He knows the DAs. I think he hates when I say that. But the reality is he's been around a very long time, and he's got great relationships. If it's something you're going to plea bargain, he's going to get you the best deal. If it's something you want to fight because you're innocent, he's going to be the best representation you can get. Joseph A. Lazera, 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200, or you can find him at referralist.com. Can you believe that little punk?
Which one?
This I-25 guy turns around and re-sues her, or counter-sues her.
Well, like I say,
he's smart.
Right.
He's going to end up with her house if he wins.
Yeah. His attorney.
I don't think he can win. Just even pictures of that place, it was so bad.
But she can turn around and up the $7,500 because she lost the use of the house and possibly attorney fees too. I mean, I like I say, does he have any money? I don't know. You can see from the street his decking. He had new decking, boom. Because it had the planks, and so by code you had to put new decking on. They ran out of decking, so they just started shingling, and so you could see.
So you have to step down.
Yes. Yes. Oh, it was seriously that was to say it's shack. We used to park tractors in better buildings than that.
Oh, easily.
Seriously.
Easily.
It was at the.
It was so bad. I really didn't believe the story till we showed up and the homeless guy was still there. It got worse.
It was working.
She hired the homeless guy.
She hired him. Oh, the homeless guy that was living there.
After that,
she hired him. After, not the Torres, not the guy from I-25, but the guy that he had hired to do the shingling and stuff. She ended up hiring because she came back. He was living in the house. So
it was easy. She didn't have to go find.
And I'll guarantee you would live in this house.
Oh, no one could.
He's living in the basement.
There's not even electricity, man.
I know. It was summertime though.
They had everything ripped out. The walls, literally, you could see where the wires were ripped right down the drywall.
Yeah.
And what is he suing her for?
He's countersuing for the rest of the
insurance,
like a $40,000 contract.
The rest of the insurance. But so she gave him some insurance money, but she stopped paying.
So is he saying he had nothing to do with the fact that the homeless guy gutted the house?
No, he said that he did the full work that he was supposed to do.
I think she should call you as a witness. If it's during the day, you should go down.
I'd go.
Call her in court. Wow.
Yeah.
Take video, even if the judge says, don't worry about it.
Wow.
Take video.
But is it really, to say a shack is actually upgrade?
You know, so many times I see people make a bad decision who they hire, and then they continue to make these bad decisions, like hiring the homeless guy. Really? After you just
and then up in the attic where they did the thing, it was still full of all the crap, the old shingles, and it was seriously like that much of crap up in the attic and stuff that you didn't take away.
Is $9 to install an air filter ridiculous? That's such an open-ended question. I don't even know what to say.
Somebody said that? That's nothing. The oil filter, where's the
air filter?
The air filter is going to be $9.
No, he's saying to install it. The labor.
They can, but God, some of them are hard.
Some of them.
On my car, it's stupid hard.
Really? I'm usually my car.
You got to take the battery out.
On Suzanne's Santa Fe, it's real easy. It opens like this and it slides over $9.
I know.
Yeah,
right? We've had complaints for $3. I can't fathom that. But when you tell them they got to call in, then they don't do it.
Yeah.
No emails, and I said,
what's when I get nitpicky,
where's the
my
market
favorite thing to say to him is this the hill you want to die on?
The Facebook is down, so NASDAQ is negative, but Dow is up 166.
I got to tell you, Facebook, I think, is in serious shit.
Could be.
For a while.
You know what? Google will be in more.
I'd say.
Watch.
That's exactly right. You're right.
I guarantee it that Google will be in more.
How about
they're facing, I'm telling you right now, they're facing billions in fines from the EU. Google will be in more trouble when all this is done.
I totally agree because they have more information than
I think
everybody.
Comcast has more than anybody.
They probably have
Comcast, AT&T.
Here's the Google has
they have
whatever
cell phones, they have
95%
internet,
market share.
They're
the ones that
what you watch on TV.
You think they're selling
every
it though?
habit.
You think they're selling it though?
I think they're gathering it.
But that doesn't matter if you don't use it. Google's using it.
So what if someone hacks in and grabs it?
Well, we gotta wait till that happens.
Yeah, look, here we're talking about information. Who got hacked not long ago? The people that know everything about us, the fucking credit agencies.
And they're gonna get big time fines.
They know Dan subscribes to Playboy and Hustler.
and they're giving my name out to Hustler saying you should charge him more because he's also doing Playboy.
Okay, I'm going to give you a challenge right now to save some money in the house, Mark. I'm Mark. You're Matt. Matt Conejo. He's with Compass Insurance. We talk all the time. Listen, if you haven't changed insurance companies for a long time, even 2 years, you got to call these guys, and I want you to do it right now. Matt, how long does it take if they call over to the hotline? Generally speaking, how long does it take to see if you guys can save them hundreds, if not thousands of dollars?
That's a loaded question there. I'd say
2 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say 2 to 3 hours for us really to get quotes back from every one of our carriers. On a day like today, it might be 24 hours because we might get 150 calls. It
amazes me. You guys are usually in about every 6 weeks. It absolutely amazes me that every time you're in, how many people save money. We talk about $200 million in cash merchandise exchanges, refunds. Savings is a huge part of that. You guys are probably responsible for tens of millions of dollars over the years, and people are going, oh, he's exaggerating. No, I'm not. Just call them. In fact, call right now, 303-771-HELP.
Your worst case scenario is you find out you've got a good deal currently, and your best case is you can save hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on the situation.
303-771-HELP, and I want to throw this out there. Here's one we rarely touch base on. When I was in the automotive business, my garage keepers and my car insurance or the company policy, very expensive. You can save people literally thousands on that stuff. Garage keepers, how about contractors? What kind of insurance do they get?
Well, I think, and it depends on the situation. A contractor is paying $750. You think about it. It's all about percentages. I mean, we may not be able to save you hundreds of dollars, but, someone that's got a garage keeper's policy that's paying $15,000 a year, yeah, if we can cut $2,000 off of your premium, that's a lot of money. Saving you $35 off of your contractor $350, general liability, probably not worth their time.
Small businesses, umbrellas, car insurance, homeowners, call them now, and I want to hear back from you how much you saved. If you've heard this 100 times on the show over years and years and years, just do it. There's absolutely no harm whatsoever. Like Matt said, the good news is they save you a ton of money. The bad news is there is no bad news. They'll tell you you have a good company and you should stay where you're at now. But here's the secret. They shop a ton of different companies. If you've had State Farm, you've had Allstate, you've had some of these for a long time, you're most likely overpaying. Okay, back to this update. So Jessica, I'm not gonna sit here and do the drums and stuff, but the bottom line is you have a court date, don't you?
Yes, I do.
When is the court date?
The trial date is April 10th.
So this April 10th, coming up in whatever it is, 13, 14 days, you're going to be in front of a jury as well, aren't you?
Yes.
Now, did you countersue him again, or did you just keep it at the amount you were asking this guy?
No, I countersued again.
For how much?
For $79,000.
And how do you come up with $79,000? I'm curious. Who's your
for
attorney?
the roof to be myself.
Okay.
So I looked into a lot of different attorneys.
Oh, they're so expensive.
And yes, I got the same response from every attorney that I checked into.
Yeah.
And I decided if I just walk away, then he's going to continue to do this to everybody else.
You know, Jessica,
I decided to fight it on my own.
Here's the saddest part. In fact, I think Deputy Dan, we were out at your house a year ago. I think Deputy Dan should come down and be a witness for you. He walked around, he talked to everybody, and he's a wealth of knowledge.
I would definitely do it, Jessica.
So if you want him to come down, I mean, we saw it right after this stuff happened, so we'd be happy to talk to you afterwards. Here's what I fear, though. I fear he wins on that counterclaim, and he's going to own your house. I hope that does not happen.
Well, there's a few things that I have found out, and one of the things is that he cannot, he never put a mechanic's lien on the house.
Yep, that doesn't mean he can't get a judgment, but you're absolutely right. It's been too long, right?
Correct.
All right, I appreciate it. Make sure we get her information. I just got a hard break coming up. Make sure we get her information, Suzanne. Deputy Dan, call her after the show. Let's have you go down and help her out, and you can give us a play-by-play. Listen, we've got a lot going on. Tom, James, everybody else, hold tight. My name's Mark Major, and this is the Troubleshooter Network.
You can get an HVA.
Dan, when I worked for the USA, I had to go do the subrogation cases, so I've been to court like 200 times. If you want me to help you and review, just look over.
Well, it's really, like, say, up to her. I wish she would have got a lawyer and tried to sue.
I know what's scaring me is some of her arguments, like, oh, he can't do it because he didn't do the lien.
Right.
I need to look at her arguments and see if they won't, so she doesn't waste her time.
And it's not everything that we didn't put anything in that on there. Like I say, now granted, if the judge doesn't automatically say he's 79,000 or nothing.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, if she countersues for 79,000, just as that's way, I'm not going to throw it out. No, he'll say this is what it should be, right? He'll go down.
I just hope she has some kind of defense.
Right. Well, it's got to be loss of use, damage to the place. I mean, I could see $79,000 worth of damage.
Yep.
Just tore out the same stuff.
Mark has a point. When you're in a countersuit, you're always fighting an uphill battle on the countersuit side.
Sure.
Because most people are fighting countersuits because they feel it's sour grapes because they got sued. And the judges kind of look at it that way. She's going to have to be really careful with this.
No.
I'll be glad to help her with her argument.
Oh yeah, okay. That's like say but she should have some attorney.
You guys should reach out to her. See
I will.
I'll
call her. She's nice. She's dug into this a lot.
I've seen people who can represent each other, okay, but a lot of times they get off on shit that just judges' eyes are rolling. They're not.
No. You're exactly right. And see, this is a jury.
Yeah.
So they're not going to put up with a lot of crap and stuff because they want to get this jury out of there. No. I mean,
or stories.
And the reason this I-25 is Jim was Torres. What's his first name?
Torres.
Vincent Torres. The reason he's doing it is because he knows in jury trial, for her to get a lawyer, the lawyer's going to charge a ton of money.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. And I don't think she can get attorney fees.
No. Oh, absolutely she could.
Usually it's by contract. It's hard to get.
There's nothing in the contract about
attorney's fees can be really tough.
Yeah, they're hard to get.
What he's saying is if it's in the contract, both people agree
Unless
to that the prevailing party will get paid by the other person. They're hard. Now, on some things you can't get.
Do you remember that guy you bought dinner for?
God, that cost me Del Frisco's. I'll never forget.
Right, but he got all of his attorney fees, and he got more than what he paid for.
And he actually got the money.
Yes.
Which was the more amazing part.
If they considered outrageous that there wasn't a basis for the lawsuit.
This was, I think.
Okay, if they feel there wasn't a basis for the lawsuit, then you can.
Right.
But generally, there's some basis for the lawsuit.
You should have seen the one that Mark, like I say, the Mark gonna do.
I would like her to just sit here and play her side to me and see what hear what her argument is. And if it's really bad, she better get an attorney. You're right, she could lose her house.
But it's the problem. It's a scraper.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, that's a small one of those small lots up by, very close to I-70 and I-25.
Oh, in
near Globeville.
Globeville. That's what I was going to say. Is it Globeville?
There's railroad tracks right.
So by Globeville, man, that is one of the hottest neighborhoods in all of Colorado.
For some stupid reason.
What is it called?
Globeville. And what's weird is it is all shotgun shacks, but they're going for $400,000 lots. I kid you not.
I wondered if they were going for that high amount because they're widening I-70 through there.
That's the exact reason. Well, as they said that apparently they think it's going to be a big city central, and because of the I-70 access, that
we'll find out.
Because on the north side of the highway, everything's boarded up now. They're obviously going to widen that way.
Yeah, they're going to start knocking stuff down, and
it needs to be knocked down.
Oh yeah,
almost every one of them does. They're set. A lot of people that I know, real estate speculators, say it's going to be the next Highlands.
Wow.
So.
But this has, like I say, railroad tracks. I'm talking like 10, 12.
I bet you that's
Globeville.
I bet you that's Globeville.
I think it is.
Not an impressive neighborhood now, for sure.
Not impressive. I like that term.
But
not impressive.
And like I say, the lot is probably 50 feet at the widest.
25 to 50.
Yeah, okay, it could be 25.
Yesterday, without having any information, she sent a message out to all of the regional directors because she wasn't sure which store it was. Jason got a message. I think that was.
Well, here, we'll just do an update.
Okay, yeah.
Clint, or here, grab over there.
Josh.
And then Clint will do an update on that other one.
Which one?
Sit.
The Johnson.
Oh,
the EPA.
Put you on.
Are you sure? Oh, yeah, because you split.
I can't put your picture in.
I haven't got permission
Does it have a good hair day?
his name
Yeah,
yet.
good hair day there.
I want to look. If he did call me.
Do you have any spray for the and the mic?
Is there earwax sticking to you?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, very
It's like honey.
I finally just got my own headset. I got tired of either squeezing my head that don't fit. I got a fat head, I guess.
Yeah, I've got to go get.
Mine was an update.
I have to get headphones for the shooting range.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, when do you go then?
Hey, RV insurance.
Do you just need something to borrow or
cheap?
No, I'm going to need them.
Totally depends on the RV. If it's a $500,000 RV, yeah, they're going to pay $3,000 a year for it. Depends on the.
How much do they look into? Like, if I bought one, how much do they look into my kid's driving record compared to?
You'll get away with it because what'll happen is you and your wife will probably be the only listed drivers.
So it'll be a lot cheaper.
Oh, way cheaper.
So what we're going to do is sell all the cars and I'll just drive the bus to and from work from now on.
Just live here.
Just so I can afford it. Actually, the money I would save on insurance would pay for the gas easily. Because they really calculate you don't drive them a lot, don't they?
And, this parking lot, I saw somebody storing their boat down at the end where all the...
Well, there's a lake out back.
Is there?
Yeah, Chatfield. It's right behind here.
Oh.
Connects to Cherry Creek.
There's houses there. Keep talking about Willis.
Chatfield doesn't connect to Cherry Creek.
No.
It's a Platte River.
Nothing gets by him.
All right. I was just, my map in my head was,
I was really impressed. The media relations gal isn't even working today.
Need somebody. Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take your complaints, try to make your life just a little bit better, get directly involved, go after the bad guys. take out our ginormous spotlight we call a radio tower and shine it on the scumbags running around. Hey, I am so glad, though, we got that one taken care of. Did you hear that update, Daphne? Deputy Daff in studio. Suzanne reached out to call Lance, and he's going to give this guy his money back in the next week, apparently, or try to. So we're going to kind of lay off that, but good job yesterday on that one.
Thank you. I'm on your side. I am not sure I completely believe him, but it would be nice if he did.
It would be great if he did. Now, in studio with me, Matt Corneo with Compass Insurance. So any questions you have in insurance, in fact, right now, if you call the hotline, you can get through. And really, all they need, Matt, the best way to do it is if they have their declarations paid.
Absolutely the best way. Because it doesn't help us to say, hey, I'd like to get a quote. I don't know what I've got, but let me know if I can save some money. And then we find out they've got minimums and yada, 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 and then we're, you know, quoting them 5 times the amount of coverage.
Yeah, so, folks, do it. Just, you're going to save money. 303-771-HELP. That's the helpline, 303-771-HELP. You want to get through right now, we do have a line open, 303-713-8255. We're going to have a couple updates this hour. One, you've talked to Ford, and you have an update. And that came in yesterday. We had I think it was a Ford Focus, right?
Yeah, 2016.
2016 Ford Focus. The guy had it for a year. He called up. And he's had it back in 7 times over the transmission. A couple times they replaced the clutch. One time they replaced the computer, I believe. And then the other times they reprogrammed it. But he keeps going back and back to groove. And finally, his 1 year for the lemon law is up like in a year, or in a week, right?
Yes, in a week.
So what happened? Go ahead. What was the update?
So they had talked about him calling the 800 number because the buyback has to be initiated through Ford.
Yes.
And when he called the 800 number, he was not getting a call back from them. And this has been going on for a month. So yesterday I got a hold of Media Relations, left a message, and she moved right away, sent a message out to all of the regional managers in Groove because she wasn't sure which one it was.
Yeah, which Groove.
Exactly. And Josh had a call yesterday, so they have started the process
of the buyback.
But Media Relations for Ford is not stopping there. They are going to, she is going to be speaking with the regional manager today and the executive liaison, because it's a big group that needs to come together
for the buyback.
And she is going to get you know, the focus group. She's going to get everybody together.
Here's the other thing that was weird about that. I don't think he was having the problem right now. He said after each time they either replaced the clutch or reprogrammed it or did whatever, it would take 1,500, 2,000 miles to happen again.
Exactly.
So it is curious if it happens again after the buyback period and they decide not to do it because they think it's fixed, if they'll step back up. We'll have to stay on top of them.
I just wanted to make sure that he got the paperwork in before the year was up, and that he was, you know, if the buyback is going to happen.
So at least it's got initiated.
Exactly.
Or at least he's asking for it. You know, I'm not very happy with Ford when it comes to buybacks. I got to be honest. We had probably the #1 post we have ever done, ever. We had a post go truly viral. 10 million people looked at it, Matt. It was insane. I posted up. Over the weekend, if you have Facebook's alert, we're sitting in the hot tub, my phone goes ding, 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 and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I looked down at my phone. We were up to like 20,000. 2 hours later, 50,000. This wasn't a boosted post. This is all native. Next thing you know, within 5-6 hours, I've had 1 million people looking at the article. 1 million people we had on referral list Facebook. Next thing you know, 5 million, 7 million, we're almost 10 million now. And this was months ago. But Ford, if you saw this, there's an old saying about Ford, and I can't say it on the air, but it's something over road disaster, or something like that. Is it? Yeah, I can't say that, but it's not good. And I started looking at this video, and we sent out, in fact, it wasn't Deputy Dan, but my good friend Mike Thomas went out and drove in this, and we got some video and the whole bit. I got to tell you, this death wobble was like something I've never seen. And other people have it. I'm hoping Ford did do the buyback on it by now. We've got to check in with that guy. But I stepped out of it because he was a little nutty, too. The actual caller was a little nutty. I mean, he threw a fit in the dealership that he was fit to be tied. He was not helping himself. But I think he calmed down And I hope Ford did the buyback, but they were really fighting the guy. So maybe we need to ask him about that. But that death wobble was no joke.
Well, we all had to turn our phones off because none of us could get any sleep.
It was
crazy.
insane. I did. I literally turned off all notifications. I've never done anything that's got 10 million people looking at it. I started thinking, my God, if I could have sold an ad in that, if I could foresee what was happening, we would have done it. Now, speaking... Oh, wait, we're going to have one more update with Clint, and this one's going to be on the asbestos guy. What was his name? Jim Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it yet. We're going to do it after the first break. But this guy went to this lady's house, basically scraped her ceiling. He knew it had asbestos in the ceiling, and she went back in. There's dust, there's particles, there's everything. He said it was all done. It was done properly. He got rid of the stuff properly, where he actually just put it in trash bags out front. If you go to sleazbrigade.com, you can see Jim Johnson. But we got an exciting update on that Clint helped with. Now, and she can't go back in her house for a long time either. They had someone come out and test in there. Your usual, if you have asbestos in your ceiling or in your drywall, but it hasn't been disturbed, your settings or your analysis will come back between 0 and 100. And forgive me, I don't know if that's ml, particles per million. I don't know what it is, but I do remember 0 to 100. Hers was 37,000 something. I mean, that's how bad. It was airborne all over the entire house. It was a nightmare. 303-713-8255. But speaking of posts, Tom posted something last night. He must have flown in really late. My God, you got to go to our Facebook. Around 2:30 in the morning, he posted a picture of a guy. You ready for this? The guy's getting high on Frontier Airlines Flight 675 from Orlando to Denver. He's not kidding. There's a picture of the guy smoking it, smoking dope. And at first I said, well, how do we know? What's the first thing you would think if you saw a vape, Matt, with Compass Insurance?
In Colorado?
Yeah, what's the first thing you... No, on an airplane. On an airplane. Seriously, what's the first thing if you saw a guy 4 or 5 rows in front of you smoking? What would you think?
I would think no one had the guts to smoke dope on an airplane.
You would think it's nicotine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and I said that to Tom. He goes, nope. He goes, I know what pot smells like. And I said, okay, I believe that. I think he's positive it's pot. And I believe it was pot after looking at it.
Does pot vapes smell the same as nicotine vape? Okay.
Yep.
Daphne
strong.
would know.
Oh, no, I was a flight attendant, not a stewardess.
But you can smell dope.
You can smell it because
even in those vape pens?
Even in those vape pens, exactly.
So
and when I was a flight attendant, if somebody was painting their nails.
But when you were a stewardess, couldn't they smoke on the plane? Seriously?
I was never a stewardess, but we smoked on the plane.
We'll argue that till the day she dies. Back then,
it
it was a stewardess. I'm timing it. Okay, but here's the deal. If you look at this post, so he went, Tom goes, as he's exiting, and during it, multiple people were talking about the smell of marijuana. They didn't do anything, yet they said they didn't know who was doing it, but I'm staring at pictures, and other people were saying who was doing it. Everybody was complaining about the smell, so I think it was pot. Tom says something to the stewardess leaving. He goes, is it no longer against federal law to smoke dope, let alone on an airplane? And she said, or the stewardess says, or I'm sorry, the flight attendant says, well, you know, we didn't know who was doing it. He's like, well, everybody's pointing the people out. You got to read this post, though. And it makes you think, I wonder if Frontier's going to start, you know, they sell everything else. If you want a bag of chips, a drink, anything, it's like $1 million on there. If you want to bring a bag, you pay for it. I wonder if they're going to start selling dope.
In Europe, the airplanes, they sell vapes. But vaping is included, and it is not legal to vape on the airplane. They include that. They say smoking and vaping.
Well, you shouldn't be able to vape anywhere. I mean, if it's actually spitting out nicotine. But, I mean, smoking pot on a plane's crazy. Frontier should have done something about it. But you got to look at that post on there.
People still fly Frontier?
Yes, of course. They're so cheap. You're never going to argue cheap. You're not. To Vegas, do you realize in most scenarios, or if you want to fly like on a Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever the dates are, Vegas is like $39 sometimes. Matt, I got to ask you something, but I got to take a break. Ken, hold on. Tom, hold on. Dave, hold on. One line open, 303-713-8255, 303-713-8255. Quick story. We're leaving Sam's Club, Suzanne and I, and we come to this red light. We go when it turns green. Bam! This guy comes out of nowhere and T-bones us. It was the worst experience I have ever been in a car. This lady was screaming at her kids in the back seat. Blew right through, and she acknowledged it. She said, I was screaming at my kids. I'm so sorry. Acknowledged everything happened, took liability, took fault, but she hit us. So now I had to deal with her insurance company, and there's only one person out there when it comes to personal injury I would call, and that's exactly who I did call. And fast forward a year and a half, John Fuller, Fuller Law, got his policy limits. Thank God she didn't have minimum. But the reality is we waited, we let John do what John does best, and he got his policy limits. He gave us the best advice. He made sure we were okay, and he knew how to deal with the other people's insurance company. And once again, policy limits. If you're injured in an accident, John Fuller. That's all I need to say. 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500, personalinjuryco.com.
After paying full fare for a damn ticket, because I went to go to a funeral up here, I got bumped.
Hey, Matt, you want to see this place where it's at and tell me if it's at? So,
No.
I-25 is so not great with.
Where's
right that way.
Yeah, that
Oh,
is
that's
Globeville.
exactly right.
That's where Globeville Road is.
Oh, really?
That's exactly where it is, yep.
See all these railroad tracks?
I went to a music club there twice in the last week. I had never been to Globeville, and there's a new venue there, and that's, I mean,
Is it okay
it was
if
right
I
off
stay
the
for
highway.
the
It's like right
asbestos
here.
update?
And you're saying these are selling for, well,
Then I
we
have
tell
to
her
go
that
with
she needs to
some
maybe do a
Her house is worth nothing.
Right.
But the lot itself, it might be worth at least a few $100,000, if not
This overpass has been gone, and it's going to be 5 lanes each direction with a service road.
Okay.
So for businesses, it's going to be a boom.
Dan, you kill the audio for a second so I talk to Mark.
I'm Tom Martino for Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan, because Ideal wants to make sure if they do a refinance for you, they put you in a better position than you were in before. Ideal is the only lender that offers these things: credit optimization, which means they will work with you to optimize your credit. Even if you're approved, they can do small tweaks to your credit, like paying down a certain card or moving certain balances to get you better pricing. They also have Pick Your Term Loan. You can pick any term you want: 10, 11, 12, 13 years, 18 years, 20 years, 30 years. If you've paid it down, you don't have to go all the way back to 30. They also have a rate guarantee. If rates go down over the next 2 years, they refinance you free of all lender fees. And they have pre-approvals, which is just like a cash offer. You are actually approved. All they're waiting for is an appraisal. And written guarantees that your pricing will be a certain amount and it will not change. 303-867-7000. Closing in 3 weeks or less. 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. They're also on my referral list at referrallist.com.
Only 4 days left until Carpet Mill Outlet's one-day only private sale. This Saturday at Carpet Mill Outlet.
You can put audio back on, please.
Back on.
Okay.
300 grand for that thing. Who should have bought
Look, I'm not a realtor. I'm just telling you what
300 grand for what?
that house, that lot?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, the one over there? Oh, is that area?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the problem with where she was. I am not exaggerating. The railroad track was
it shows all
30
right
feet
here.
away.
But that's going to be a business with a railhead out back and a warehouse in the front.
You think about it. 15 years ago, everyone said you'd never get a nickel for a Highlands property. It's the hottest neighborhood in all of
Oh,
Colorado.
it's so hot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, Franktown's blowing up, too.
For residential, Globeville.
We used to have 56 people. Now we've got 57 because the neighbors had a kid.
My brother lives in
That's not the
in one of Tom's
where it's
houses.
like right along that creek there. There's
Right
Oh,
there.
you mean
Highlands
Kelty
is
Farm?
Kelty. He lives on Kelty.
We almost bought Kelty.
He's
They didn't take our offer.
actually putting the house
Downtown,
on
they got a little river
for
running
sale right
by it.
right in the next
Here,
month.
That's
or
right
so.
with all the neighborhoods.
It's a nice
It's
neighborhood.
all flat.
It's right off 80th
Yeah,
Street.
he's got like 5 acres.
Wow.
It's horse property.
They're all the same, yeah.
Yeah.
5, 6.
There's just
He's
there's
right
nowhere
at
to
the
go in
end
Denver.
of that.
And so
that
that is
first
why
cul-de-sac
all those
there
Denver
on
properties
15.
are just so
Some of
crazy.
the worst industrial
Goes out
properties
to
now are
Parker
so
Road,
hot
but
for
they have
marijuana.
5 acres
No,
between
you're
them
not kidding.
and Parker Road.
There seems to be a market for something everywhere here.
I don't know why people would want to rent in Denver marijuana. They could build outside. get cheaper labor, less taxes,
Out of
less
Denver?
everything.
Yeah.
Well, it has to be legal in the county you're going to, though, also. So, like, places like Parker and that kind of thing, they won't allow you.
Okay, Gilpin just allowed it up there, a big grow facility.
Yeah. That's probably
So what my buddy does is he's a lawyer for
really?
municipalities and cities. So he approves and disapproves
You know,
those
Gilpin
licenses.
County up in the mountains might
That's
be
a great-
Quite a bit of the cities.
Great,
Dan, a bunch of this new stuff
place
is
to
growing
be as a
55
lawyer.
degrees.
Oh, yeah.
right now.
Well, up there, I mean, it's like
You know,
a
I told my
greenhouse.
son
Yeah, but
when he
it's
graduated
because the cold
college,
year,
I
you know,
said,
cooler year round up there.
you know,
The
think
summers.
about it, he goes,
There's
no.
a place
He said,
right
I'm
next
just
to
not
House Road,
interested in
65th
marijuana.
and Lowell.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, he does all
buildings
kinds of
there with
city
air
ordinance and that kind
conditioning.
of thing. And he represents Blackhawk and
Well, their big thing was
he deals
water
with gambling.
usage.
He deals with firing government
Yeah.
employees, things like that. So he does all that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
He represents
Whatever
cities.
this
and
low
stuff.
temperature stuff is, though, that they're growing. Oh my God.
You know, who was working on the
Yeah,
duck
but
wobble?
We don't talk about that.
No.
All right, 303-713-8255. That is the only phone number you need if you've been ripped off, taken advantage of. Let's see here. Let's go to number 3. You've been holding a while. Dave, what's going on?
Hello.
Yes, Dave. Hello, sir.
Tom. Yes. I would like to find out if you know anything about an outfit called the Online Trading Academy. I went to an orientation class, and I'm pretty excited about it, but I just wanted to find out about it since
What do they
really,
what do they teach you?
they teach stock and forex and futures trading.
How much
I'm
do
sure
they
know what they're
charge?
talking about. My main issue is they are very expensive, but if it works and if I can make it work for me, it would be well worth it. But I just wanted to find out if there's any more information I could find about the class, if anybody.
If anybody out there, give the name of it again. Online
Trading Academy.
I have not heard of them. How much are the classes?
Well, it depends on how many you take. Your basic course is like $15,000, and you take.
But like, what is a basic course? Like technical analysis? Is that one of their courses? What?
Well, it's just it's a basic overview of stocks.
Yeah.
And then you've got classes for forex and futures.
Are you looking at day trading or just trading?
Well, both. That's
Okay.
that's one aspect of day. It's just an avenue of stock trading that you get into once you enter a certain.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know anything about them. Suzanne says they got pretty decent reviews. I personally, when I got into day trading years and years ago, or trading, I want to take that out. Day trading and trading are very separate things. But the first thing I did, I took an Ameritrade course that was probably 2 or 3 weeks at my own pace with a live teacher that was always there online at Ameritrade.com. I forget how much I paid for it, but I got a lot of benefit out of it. So regardless of what you do, I want to give you this advice on different courses. There's probably going to be a technical analysis course. What this will allow you to do is dig into a company, and not just profit and loss, but dig into what most likely is going to happen with that company in a different period of time. They have like a MACD chart you'll learn about. There's all kinds of charts, and when certain things cross, certain times happen, certain moving averages, you start learning about this stuff. Now, where I took that into day trading, because day trading really doesn't have much to do with that, I took the technical analysis once I learned to look at a company and see if I thought long-term it was going to be a good investment. That way, if I was day trading it and things got out of hand and I was going to have to take a massive loss, 50, 60 grand in one day, I could always hang on to that stock and resell it later because I already did a long-term analysis on the company. So decide what you want to do on it. And, I mean, if anybody else has used them, I don't see anything bad about them. I don't know cost-wise. I don't remember what I paid. I put enough into Ameritrade. I think I got my courses for free when I opened it. So you might shop around to see if there's something like that as well.
One of the things they do is when you're in their classes, you're actually live trading on their accounts using their money. And when you take one of their classes, you can retake it again free for life.
Yeah.
They've got school centers, schools all over the world.
Look, man, I'm going to give you a little more advice, and it's not just for you, but it's for everybody out there. You bring up something people ask all the time. Should I go to a real estate class and learn how to flip houses? Should I learn how to do this? Is this course good? They say I can buy an old house and flip it. Well, here's what I got to say. I don't know, Dave. I could go to that course and come out learning how to make even more money in the stock market. You or someone else could go to it and never take advantage, never learn, never do it. I don't know who you are. I don't see anything negative about it. But it goes back to anything. Two people, Matt, myself, Daphne, everybody in this room, could go to a certain course on flipping houses. One of us might be great at it and the others never do it. I don't know. But, yes, you want to learn. You definitely don't want to jump in and not know anything. I'll tell you that. So if you see good reviews, and do they have any kind of money-back guarantee? As far as trading with their money, who cares? I mean, honestly, that means nothing to me.
I may, perhaps not. Perhaps it's of little value, but
you should look in.
Also, what they do is this. Once you've taken their stock trading class, they have the recommendations and the trades that they place all year long, and you can see those and you can follow those all year.
And
what they showed is last year. If you would have just copied what we did,
my God, if you would have copied what
made 93 grand.
If you would have copied, okay, I'm putting them on hold. If you would have copied what any 401k did that literally no one did anything but park it. Anything, you would have made probably more than that. The worst thing people could have done last year, not this year, was do anything. If you just let whatever stocks you had sit, you probably made money hand over fist. The worst thing anybody could have done last year is try to play the market because it was just an uptick. So you can clear up line 3. Dave, I don't know the answer to you. It looks like a fine company. I don't know what you'll take out of it personally. Matt's got a question for Matt. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having me. So I'm thinking about getting solar panels, and I just wanted to know what impact that might have on my homeowner's insurance.
Matt, we get that question a lot.
Yeah, I get that question a lot from companies. So from people. So there's two things you need to find out. Number one, if you own them or if you're leasing them. Generally speaking, if you're leasing the solar panels, the company you're leasing it from, they're covering the panel
because they own it.
Because they own it. And so, but if you own them, if you're purchasing them, generally what happens is you add them as part of the dwelling to your homeowner's policy. The dwelling is probably the cheapest dollar for dollar thing on the homeowner policy too. So yeah, $20,000 worth of, you might see a $50, $60 uptick. It won't be, it won't be a huge increase to your cost.
What happens if you get them and let's say Matt here orders them, puts them on his house, and never tells his insurance company? They're still probably going to be covered,
They're still probably going to be covered. Your big issue is that if there was a total loss, could it take away from your total amount in that loss? And that's why you want to address it. But, if it's a hail loss, things like that, yeah, you're probably going to have enough coverage for it. But you do have a duty to report that to the insurance company. And like I said, it won't make that much of an increase in the cost. So, I'd recommend that you contact your agent and say, hey, this is what I did, and they'll add it to the policy.
Hey, I've been looking at an RV. Hey, does that answer your question, Matt, though?
It does.
Unless if it's a total loss. I personally, and Matt's going to tell you different, I personally wouldn't even tell my insurance company unless if it's some kind of extreme elaborate setup that costs you $100,000 or something. I wouldn't even tell them. He's looking at me like, well, I would. Well, you're in the business. But he's right. If it's a total loss in your dwelling, your entire coverage is, say, $500,000, and it's just right there. It's barely right there. You might not.
Well, and if you haven't, I will say this: if you haven't updated your policy in a long time, let's say that you're way off on insurable value, you could have a major co-insurance problem. So,
and if you call them right now, man, that's what I do. Call them at 303-771-HELP. 303-771-HELP. You have a bunch of people answering those lines right now.
Yeah, we do.
Every time we do this, I hate being the record, but every single time we do this, people save a ton of money. If you listen to the show, in the next couple days, we're going to have all these examples of all these people that save money. 303-771-HELP. We'll keep that line going. RV insurance. I'm looking at getting an RV. You said during the break that because of my kid's driving record, it won't affect the RV insurance. So
most likely. It depends on the company you go
What about
with.
a commercial policy if it's an LLC or something that we have it under?
Yeah, if it's an LLC, how does it work?
You might have a hard time getting insurance under the name of the LLC. Insurance companies don't like LLCs. It takes away personal responsibility, so underwriting an LLC is really difficult.
But I'm sure they do it.
Not many. I don't know many. So what you would do is you could even add your LLC as an additional interested party or an additional insured on that policy. It won't cost you anything.
If the LLC owns the RV,
okay. If the LLC owns the RV, you're going to there could be an insurable interest problem because
you
may
just
not
got to run the numbers.
Yeah, you may not be able to find a company to insure it.
Well, okay, Matt, I know there's companies that insure Kenny Rogers' bus that's under an LLC.
Yeah, and so here's what's going to happen is you're going to write that as a commercial policy, and you're probably going to write that policy is going to cost 3 or 4 times what it would cost to do it for you personally.
I gotcha.
So
of course
you're right. You can find someone to write anything. Yeah. How much are you willing to pay for it?
So typically, if I do buy it and I buy it under the name and not under an LLC. You're saying, though, my kid wouldn't have to be a driver. They wouldn't take his driving record if it was bad into effect.
Depends on the company and how they're going to underwrite it. Some companies would say that they want to exclude that young driver, and then you wouldn't have to list them at all.
Well, I'm going to exclude them for sure from driving.
Yeah, you certainly should.
I don't know if Suzanne's going to be driving this thing. All right, 303-713-8255. Speaking of RVs, Century RV, that's where I've been looking. In fact, I've been dealing with Ray down there. I didn't know this about Century RV. Truly, folks, if you're looking for a new RV or a used RV, first of all, in used, they have the largest selection in the state of used RVs, and they're the #1 Cougar dealer on fifth wheels and travel trailers in the country. These guys got buying power. If you're looking for a new fifth wheel, you want to call Century RV. I'm saying it slow so it sticks in your brain. The buying power is there. If you're a price shopper like me, you can't go wrong. You call Century RV or you check them out. 2 locations north of Denver, just off I-25 at Highway 119, and in Lakewood, just north of 6th Avenue. I went down to the I-25 one last week. I think I know which one I'm buying. Century RV, 303-453-1111, 303-453-1111, CenturyRV.com.
Are you looking at that Forest River still?
Oh, yeah.
That's a nice
Massive losses happen.
Georgetown. Yeah, that's nice stuff.
We lost everything.
Real nice stuff. Have you owned a Class 8 before? You guys?
My husband's 72.
You got to know that the first year, the warranty stuff that pops up on those things is
everything I read about every brand.
So the only thing that survived was a 97 Dodge Ram truck. 3 cars, the entire house.
I know some people explain stuff like a
And
car
we
is
had
going
to
to have
have
a problem.
it, but we
That's
don't
wrong.
live in,
It's weird. I've actually prepped myself for that.
Yeah.
So we had fire departments coming from
My
all
neighbors
over.
Paul and
because
Gail,
houses
every time
are
they leave,
not
they don't even
massive
drop it off
losses
home. They
usually,
drop it off
unless
in Camping
they're,
World.
you know,
On the way
out
home.
the
They've
foothills
been
or
to the
whatever.
storage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't see a ton of
storage
But
was
the wind
total
was
losses,
blowing 45 to 55 miles
Well, you have an
an hour.
earthquake.
It's a
Everything in your
perfect storm.
house.
I just,
And then you got stuff in there
But,
that's complicated. You got like 3- and 4-way refrigerators.
you just
Propane,
never
110, 12
realize
volt.
it's going to happen. And
What a mess.
Yeah,
and
it
all
was-
the personal stuff that you can never replace.
we had to write everything down. My book was this thick
Oh, I can't
of
imagine.
everything I had to write down. And then the insurance company, so you do it by room, because you kind of walk through and visualize and write everything down. It's like they don't want it to be easy, so they take them and they hand them off to different people. They come back, you get one thing from garage and then bedroom. It was a mess, so we data entered everything into an Excel spreadsheet.
Did you top out your policy?
We topped out
I would sure
everywhere
have thought, yeah.
because we did it the right way. We were able to type in after we bought something. And then I called and I said, you know, we're not even in the house yet. We're bumping up against the time.
Yes.
And they go, nope, you signed it. We signed it the day after while we were still in shock. We hadn't even had 2 hours sleep. And so I tell people, don't sign it. Don't sign it and make them change that number to 3 years. Because, so then what we did was we typed in the most expensive stuff that we knew we needed to replace. and we just maxed out all of our credit cards and paid for everything. And then
Stella says hi, Mark.
crazy.
Wow. Stella says hi.
It was a full-time job.
Stella!
Oh, I bet it was.
It was crazy. But, you know,
So violent.
Stella's my favorite Stella.
I just,
I can't.
Wasn't that
I
slides,
try to help people that go through it. If you guys, I know, you know,
No,
the insurance
Adrian.
company won't work
Stella, she did Stella on, because there was a movie, what was it?
Lost
Stella
a house
Hot
or
Tin
something.
Roof, where she was
Send it
drunk.
to
She
me.
had
I'll tell them the
What was
mistakes
Stella
not
from
made.
the other box there? Or no,
Because there were
Who's
some,
Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
you know, like Simon.
Elaine did it anyway. She was drunk.
And who would have thought that we wouldn't have been in the house in 2 years? The boulder burned. And all of the wood went up boulder. So we, yeah. So it just was like, oh, and it took us 5 months to get our house torn
And I
down
can
because of
visualize
asbestos.
the actor yelling that.
It would make it through the EPA,
Yeah, it was not. I can
EPA,
see his face. I
PG&E
can't think of his
up to a
name
point, and then somebody would say,
Yeah.
nope, and send it all the way
It's
back
like,
down.
who's afraid
We
of
finally
Virginia
called them and
Woolf?
said,
I'll look it up here.
it stinks.
No,
The
Elaine yelled
neighborhood
it
stinks
into
when
the
the
show.
wind blows.
the
And it's
actor.
probably blowing asbestos all over the place. Get it torn
Just see his
down.
face.
We had our neighbors call in and just bug the heck out of them. Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, that asbestos,
Our
they
name is
were,
Zaire.
Oh,
Yeah. But who
they
was
had
the
to
actor?
spray
Yelled-
it while it was
it's,
happening. And, Cary Grant.
really well known actor.
Cary
No,
Grant.
it's Stella.
Oh,
Marlon
Stella.
Brando.
Norman Brando.
Yeah,
Yes.
Marlon.
God, yeah, that's what I was picturing yelling that. But it was from Streetcar Named Desire.
Yep.
Okay, that was the movie I thought it was. I thought it was a different movie. I thought it was.
Elaine was all hopped up on.
What'd you say? Tag that spot. That sounds weird as hell.
Google's just amazing though.
He sounds like he's in a tin can.
Yeah.
I told him that. I heard it in the car, and it sounded that way.
You know, the other side of that argument is it sticks out.
Oh, he sounds like he's in a can.
Like
I
in a
told
tin
him
can.
that,
I'm in a Campbell soup can. 24-hour fix it.
I'm down in the furnace room.
That's maybe what he's doing.
They're here, it's right here.
I'm here in the old Quest building in the furnace room.
And the ductwork.
I'm just kind of thinking if it sticks out like that, maybe it is good.
Yeah. During the basketball.
I don't know how he got it to sound that way. It might have been the compression iHeart puts through it because most of his spots are done on that same mic. Deputy Dan, I've got a little trivia for you, and it's not, I repeat, not Seinfeld, which I am the ultimate champion on. Who is this? Who's got 40 lenders to choose from, the best pricing, great trade-in values, and no-pressure sales?
I have no idea.
No idea.
Rocky's Auto.
Rocky's Auto. My God, man, get me another deputy. I'm trying to do a commercial here, and you blew it, son. No, Rocky's Autos, listen, 303-426-4646. We always say this, put them on the list. I don't care where you shop. Go shop on Colfax. Shop on Craigslist. Shop at the other used car dealers. Shop at new car dealers. I don't care where you shop. What I do care about, so you save money and you're happy with the purchase, is you put Rocky's Autos on the list. You got to at least go down and check them out. They got great inventory, and now, with their new website, you don't even have to drive to 63rd and Federal. By the way, they're open 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., but you don't have to drive down there. I suggest you do because they're great people. You can bring the kids, bring the dogs. They got video games. You can bring your pooch around. They're great, friendly people, family-run, family-operated, family-founded, but their new website, Rocky'sAutos.com, has all their inventory, pricing, and everything else. But you should head down there and test drive. But either way, Rocky'sAutos.com or 63rd and Federal, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Put them on the list! I can't emphasize that enough. People call all the time saying, hey, I bought this used car, blah, blah, blah. We don't get that about Rocky's. All right, let's see who we got here. Charlotte has a question for Matt with Compass Insurance.
Hello?
Yes.
I'm not calling about
Compass Insurance.
You got that vocal fry going, but go ahead.
Over the weekend, my car was impacted by someone who backed up and hit my car. In backing up, she drugged my car, so it got damage on both sides. Now, the insurance people have all been involved on both sides, and the adjuster is supposed to come out later today.
Yeah.
However, I just got a call from the person that did the damage, that was driving the car that was backing up. She's from out of state. She's covered with insurance and all that. She wants to pay out of pocket.
I wouldn't do it.
You
Matt,
wouldn't?
No, I wouldn't do it. Actually, I wouldn't, because you know why? I've done it before. In any story I've ever heard, it turns into a hassle. You either never get paid, or when you bring your car, Charlotte, listen to this, and Matt, please chime in. When you bring your car to the body shop, and they give you an estimate of, say, $5,000, I'm making numbers up. This lady gives you a check for $5,000, or this guy, whatever it is, and then goes on her merry way out of state. That body shop calls you and goes, oh, my goodness, we got dug down into this. There's some more damage. We got to call the insurance company up, get a Go ahead.
That's the big issue.
What is it
right
called?
There, once they need a supplement, then you go back to them to get any kind of supplementary payment. It gets to be an issue.
Supplementary, you mean for additional damage?
That's right. And that's the biggest issue, is you never know what they're going to find once they actually open the car up. And
ever.
We deal with this all the time. I'm not telling you 100% not to do it, but Mark is totally right. There's too many unforeseen things that can happen, and then you're not really going to have a leg to stand on asking for more money.
And you know what? I bet you what happened, Matt. Charlotte, and tell me if I'm right, she called you up and said, oh, my God, I got to do this out of pocket. My insurance costs are going to go up. I mean, what was the case?
She didn't tell me the reason. She just left a message.
Well, that is the reason, though. I mean, if someone's offering to pay it out of pocket, who knows? She could add another accident or two. She knows her policy is going to get in trouble. Whatever. I
wouldn't do it. Sure.
And she might have the best of intentions, but the problem is too many things can come up after the fact.
Do I need to get a lawyer?
Why?
Well, I don't know. For oversight, for...
Well, no. If you don't have any injury, there'd be no reason whatsoever, I wouldn't think, to get an attorney. If your car's going to get fixed, your car's going to get fixed. You know?
Just turn it into the insurance.
Okay.
Did you already talk to her insurance company?
I've talked to them.
And here's the other part. If it's already...
And everything seems on the up and up, and all that,
Charlotte.
people are responding well.
Yeah, good. Hold on.
I have not chosen a body shop. I guess that's up to me.
It is up to you. You can go anywhere you want to go.
What
Have they
area?
accepted fault?
They accepted fault.
Okay.
What area in Charlotte? Just roughly.
Congress Park, Cherry Creek.
Okay. Yeah, there's tons of body shops. Ton of them. I'd get a couple different ones, but yeah, go through the insurance. Matt, the insurance company already knows an accepted fault. Is there really any difference at this point?
No.
If she paid out of pocket?
No, if they've accepted... Well, yeah, I mean...
The claim wouldn't be there, but the accident's there.
Yeah, but, an underwriter would forgive a loss if there was no payout.
I'm just saying on her end, Charlotte, whoever hit you, since her insurance company already knows there's an accident, she's already getting punished for that, regardless if she paid out of pocket or not. But I would not, and I mean it, I would not go that paid out of pocket. Thank you. 303-713-8255. A lot of people try that. I mean, honestly.
All the time.
And then they're stunned. Yeah, it's crazy to do it that way.
A really tiny loss, maybe it works out well or whatever.
Yeah.
You can even actually, there are times where I will tell people, if you really want to pay this out of pocket, you are at fault, tell your insurance company that you'd be willing to do that.
That's not going to... Yeah, but
and they don't have an obligation, but if you have a good adjuster, that adjuster might say, hey, look, we know it's $1,200. You cut them a check, it probably goes away. But I agree with you. There's too many things that can come up after the fact.
All right, Ken, what's going on with you, sir? Ken?
Yeah.
How can I help you, sir?
Well, I got a question for you.
Sure.
How many times do you let someone redo something before you get mad and want your money back?
I'm going to feel like an attorney now. Ready? It depends.
Okay.
So what happened? What's your case so I can understand it?
Well, we had a shower put in.
Okay.
Okay. And
just a shower or like a whole bathroom remodel?
Well, they put the floor in, and they took the tub out we took the tub out and put a shower in.
Okay.
And they got it all done, and the floor moves.
What do you mean it moves? What kind of flooring is it? Like tile?
No, it's one of these plastic or whatever they come in and do.
On the floor though.
On the floor is.
Oh, it's part of the whole shower.
Yes, it's part of the whole shower.
I understand. It's one of these cover-ups for lack of a better words. It goes over the old fixture, but it sounds like you moved the tub out, right?
They moved the tub out. They took the tub out and they redid part of the floor there.
Got it.
And they put this, they call it a base or whatever they put in. Then they put the walls up after that.
Okay, I know exactly what it's a system. So okay, so now when you walk in, what happens? You said the floor moves like what, like an inch?
When you walk in and you're standing in the shower,
yeah,
the floor will go boom, 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 boom.
Like down into the rafters, or not the rafters, but
no. It just makes the noise because the floor isn't staying level. It keeps moving.
Wow.
Around.
And because it's all one unit, it's moving.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so
you can just feel the floor move, and they've come out before.
So hold on, Ken. If I came out there or send someone out there and got in the shower, I mean, it's that noticeable. You're not nitpicking, right?
No.
All right, hold on. I got to take this break. We'll come back. I'm gonna throw it around here, and we'll kind of go from there. Give me something, Drew. Anything? Am I cool? Well, okay, I'll talk about Simply Floors. Buddy Mitchell, my goodness, he's been to my house. He's done all of our carpet in every single place in our house, with the exception of the basement. He's done this Shaw LifeProof stuff. It's waterproof. We've got pets. We've got 3 cats, 2 dogs, 2 kids, which are kind of like pets. And I got to tell you, all of them are messy. And the coolest part is this Shaw LifeProof stuff is the easiest thing I've ever had to clean. If there is any issues, you know what I do? I take hot water and that's it. Just hot water seems to clean up everything. Nothing seeps into the pad, so you don't get that wicking coming back up when you clean your carpet. These guys do everything, though. Hardwood, laminates, luxury vinyl tile, ceramic tile, they do everything. They'll bring the showroom to you, or you can go to their showroom. Personally, I had the showroom come to us. Go to simplyfloorsinc.com, set an appointment. They'll show up on time. They'll give you every option. They'll even send out a designer at no charge. And listen to this. They'll save you up to 40% from the other guys. Simplyfloorsinc.com, simplyfloorsinc.com. Call up, buddy. They're the best out there. Simply Floors Inc. Save 40%.com.
It'll eventually break that drain.
Yeah, I think they're plastic or fiberglass.
I think they are.
I think that's just what they do.
But there's a fix for it. You can get under it, you inject foam in it. Expansive foam, and it'll stop.
I just don't think it's that big of a deal.
But it should, if it moves at all, well, I've seen them pull the drain pipe apart.
Hey, Matt, you're right. Google's down today, too.
I think they're the ones that are going to be in the biggest trouble.
I think, boy, as you say,
they have way more information than anybody.
Oh, geez, and they use it they sell it.
They do. They sell it. They use it with their advertising sale, and they've been in trouble for already for directing. So, like, you Google something and they put their advertisers at the top.
Yep.
And the EU has a big hard-on for them right now. So
Why?
Unfair trade practices, essentially, that when someone Googles, they think that they're going to get the top information and they automatically rifle their advertisers to the top of the list, that kind of thing. They also think that they're a monopoly, and so they essentially are. And so I think Amazon's going to have the same problems. I really see.
We've talked about.
I don't see any way around it. And you know what? It's the best thing for the consumer. As cheap as Amazon is right now, they remind me of what Walmart was in the late 70s, the early 80s, that, hey, we're just going to purge all of our competition. Then what happens when they're all gone? I always tell people, I said, and it doesn't mean I don't buy anything from Amazon, but if I ever have a choice, I will not do business with them because they're there to put all of us out of business.
I think so. I think
Amazon is the worst thing possible. They're the worst thing since Walmart for the consumer.
Oh, even they're worse than Walmart because Walmart at least hires local.
Yeah, well, my biggest issue with Walmart has always been not only their employment practices, but the fact that they buy more goods from China than any other retailer. And so they buy stuff, no matter how cheap it is, they don't care, their quality controls aren't there. And I think Amazon's going to get themselves into trouble because their fingers are in a million different businesses. You know, the big rumor about them is that they're going to buy, well, they tried to get into it. Here's the problem, there's too much back end for Amazon. Amazon's not a service industry. And so Amazon wants to avoid, or in the past has avoided, anything where there's a back-end service piece. What their deal is they want to sell and be done. Sell and be done. So, but I do think that Amazon, I think their next thing is auto parts. And there's been a lot.
They were looking.
Right?
There was talk they were looking at buying Rock.
Yeah, well, and then who's the other big one?
What about cars? Why not new cars?
That's the thing. The time comes when their fingers are in too many things. And it's so bad overall for the consumer and for American business.
Oh, I disagree, man.
I mean,
they're always going to have Walmart trying to compete right there. They're going
well,
to
you hope. That's the thing. Is right now, Walmart is not competing with them at all. From an e-commerce standpoint, look at their last quarter. Walmart got decimated. Despite lying.
They just realized that, and they're starting to dump a ton of money there.
And so, but here's what I think. Well, look at their last quarter. Then they lied about the results.
Trust me, I held this stock.
They lied about the results. They had that
wow, they didn't lie.
The guy came out and said, or a whistleblower came out and said that they inflated their numbers and so forth of what they were selling online. Through jet.com and all that. Here's the problem is, my fear is they're going to push people out of business and raise prices.
Well, you see,
it's the old Japanese way.
Well, the malls.
For that matter, you can give shit away, run your competition out and charge.
So Walmart did for 20 years.
Well, kind of. They gobbled up a lot. They did.
But
they gobbled up
local still.
Pretty much every mom and pie outside of a mall.
Yeah. Well, look at malls now.
Right.
They're starting to fight back, though. I got to tell you,
real estate crisis in this country.
Foot Locker,
I guarantee you, is the American shopping mall. It's going to be a real estate crisis.
Well, it's because the anchors. It already is.
Well, here's the problem. So you've got all the square footage. What do you do with it?
Kmart.
There's no one.
They're everywhere. Sears will be next. Montgomery Ward's was there. No one takes on a Macy's when they go out.
But that's just said if you can.
Yeah. Well, Macy's owns.
But surprisingly, Foot Locker, the Gap. Who were the other ones? There was
a good quarter. It's been a good retail quarter. I don't think.
I can't believe it though.
McDonald's claims that they're also.
McDonald's is a mean, clean fast food machine.
Yeah.
Well, they keep changing, whereas, like say, Sears never changed.
All right, 303-713-8255. I want to get right back to Ken. All right, Ken, so you have the shower. Every time you step in it, it moves. It's one of these kind of fixtures that goes over. You said, how many chances do you give someone? How many times have they tried to fix it?
Well, they're going to come out for the third time and redo it.
So the third time they're going to redo it. But when are they coming out?
They'll be out in the first part of April.
First part of April. How long over the other three times? I'm trying to think what I would consider reasonable. So when did it come in, and I know where we're at now. How many times has they've come out and attempted to fix it?
Well, we got it done, I believe it was in August of last year. And they came out just about a month ago and redid it. They tore the walls out and put the new floor in.
And then they had to do that again.
Stuff like that.
I don't know. Why can't they get it right?
I have no idea.
Well, that's the part I'm not getting. I mean, if they've done it three times, they're coming out for the fourth, they're either not sending out the right people, they've got some kind of material defect. What's the name of the company?
They're on your referral list, and I don't want to tell you.
Well, okay, I'm going to force you to tell me. What's the name of the company?
No, I don't want to say the name.
Suzanne, did he tell you who the name of the company was?
I told Suzanne, but
well, my God, Ken, why don't you want to tell me?
Because I don't want to cause trouble and stuff like this, and
Ken,
I want it done right.
Ken,
and that.
Ken, if it's a member of our referral list, I need to know about this, and they will make it right. I have no doubt they'll make it right. Who is it?
Well, Well, they're going to try to make it right again, but I just wonder how many times that should go.
I'll tell you. I think you've already waited enough unless they can tell you what they're going to do different. I don't care if they're on the referral list or not. If they've legitimately tried 3 times since August, and they rip everything out and it fails.
They've done it twice.
Okay.
This will be the third. They said they're going to get a different base this time.
Okay, so they do have a plan to change it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I give you an honest answer. Okay, you know, I'd be upset, but if they can tell you why it's going to be different than the previous times, and you're buying into it, which, you know, I don't know. Hold on a second. This guy's got a comment. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Dar, go ahead. You work on these showers?
I've been doing this kind of stuff for 30 years. I'm semi-retired now, and
what do you think's going on?
Whenever I do a base like that, I mark out the level on the wall where the top of the base is going to go, and then I mix up non-shrink grout, put the grout down, lay the pan in, and bounce the pan with a white rubber mallet until I get down to my level lines, and then that grout, it's just like a cement base.
I got you.
And it is solid.
Well, it sounds like you would do it right.
It's just like a custom pan.
Yep.
So tell them put grout underneath it. You never have a problem if you grout a pan in.
Well, Dar, I appreciate that advice. My only issue here is this is a referral list member, and they've been out 3 times. We talk about the referral list all the time, and I know Tom literally is so proud of the referral list like I am, I don't even know what to tell you. When we have issues, and this isn't a rip-off issue, this is something is going wrong. Ken, these are the kind I love getting involved in because I want you even happier. I want you happier than you are right now. I mean, I'd be upset if it's August, here we are, March, coming into April, and you're still dealing with the same thing. So since you told Suzanne off air, she's going to end up telling me, because of you, I won't say it on the air, Ken, but they've got to fix it, and I'm gonna make sure they do. And if they don't, you've got to call back up and tell us.
Okay. Okay.
All right? We take this. You don't understand how serious we take this. You have no idea. When there's people out there, like, who's the ones that was using our logo that used to be on the referral list? Total Comfort.
Yeah.
These guys, I sued them. I'm not kidding. I had them served not long ago because they were using our logo well over a year after they've been on, and we had a caller that had a major issue with them, and they don't want to take care of it. Granted, it's an old issue, but I got to tell you, the guy just discovered it not long ago. And in my opinion, Total Comfort sucks. Even though they were on the referral list, they should take care of that guy's problem. I don't care how old it is. So, Ken, we take it very seriously, and I want to hear back on a follow-up. 303-713-8255. We've got a lot coming up. John, I promise I'll get to you. And Tom, I know you've been holding a while. My name's Mark Major. This is the Troubleshooter Network.
Student loans, car loans. They can either inject the grout or inject foam under that pan. I've done it.
No, I don't see any problem unless there's for some reason they can't put grout down there. I don't know.
Mr. Dino's?
If there's if he has other piping or electrical work.
Call Pete and get. I want you to call Pete at Mr. Daphne, if you're listening, call Pete at Mr. Dino's and see why it's taken 3 times to get this done.
I want to talk to that Ken and find out what he did.
3 times.
I know. I want to ask him what.
Just ask him. It's Pete. Pete is the owner of who he's talking about.
Okay.
Mr. Dino's.
No, he was saying that he thinks Google's down today.
You know, we hold these people high,
right?
And it just pisses me off.
But there could be the other side of the story. I mean, you don't know.
3 times?
Well, like I said, they might have told them they're getting a different pan. There might be a reason they can't grout underneath it.
Well, okay, like I said, at least if they're going to do something different.
Absolutely. And they're not walking away from it saying, oh, that's the way it is. Facebook down $5.50. Google down 21.
Google's down $21. How much is that stock?
1,000.
You talking Alphabet?
What is the difference between?
Alphabet's the parent company.
Okay, they're both down about the same, about a little over 2%.
I don't know why they do that because really, I mean, Google's Google. It is kind of weird. I don't know why that's structured. I'm sure it's got something to do with the original investors. And
Actually, the market's coming down. It's only 48 up now. The Dow.
Constitutional amendments can only be repealed by amendments and require 3/4 of the states to approve via their legislatures or special ratifying conventions.
Thanks, Evan. You can hear more on this topic in our podcast, The Cross News Rundown, tomorrow morning at foxnewsradio.com. The California Attorney General now investigating the fatal shooting of an unarmed.
But I mean, you bring up a good point. Why does the guy call in if he just wants to say that? You know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. People. Here's what happens, regardless they're on the referral list or not. They're afraid if they come out on the radio and say something negative, the company's not going to want to fix it or screw them or do whatever. Well, Pete wouldn't screw anybody, but I can't imagine why it's taken 3 times. I can't.
I can't even remember issue with Dino. So you're saying we should short Google, and you'll back us?
I'd be worried about it. I'd be worried about it. Google has the potential to be the biggest company in the world, you know, but I think they are in deep trouble right now. I think they have huge headwinds. That's what I say.
You know, every time
I think
any company gets complacent, though, they generally are taken over. Even governments, Matt. I mean, really, if you think about it, what has been around? I just heard one company, it was their 150th, and they rang the bell at the market yesterday. And it was an insurance company. And for the life of me, I can't remember who it was. It wasn't like...
Oh, it's a new insurance company if they rang the bell.
No, they were celebrating their 150th year.
Oh, an insurance company?
An insurance company. And I was like...
Or Travelers?
Yeah.
Or,
I was like, holy shit, 150 years they've been around. It's unheard of.
Well, GE has been around over 100
They're having a monstrous day. They're up like 6% today.
GE? Oh, good. I own some.
I've been too scared of that one.
I jumped in right around 15.
And then, of course, still down.
Then, of course, it went down to 12 something.
Yeah.
Still.
But I bought it in one that I'm holding for a long time.
I saw that NASDAQ's down like a point in the...
Oh, look at that.
Most of my Amazon I picked up at under 12.
I mean, AT&T actually did a pretty good job when it was a monopoly, and they broke them up, you know, and now it's even better.
I'm dying to know this insurance company is now.
Yeah, Dow lost all of its gain. Looks like
48 up. What was last I seen?
NASDAQ's down 1.25.
And it's Google and Facebook, I think, that's pulling NASDAQ down.
Apple's down too.
Yesterday.
They were up a point. Now they're down a point, and they're headed down. They're gonna. Yeah, that's. I actually did.
Apple said it's coming out with a new iPad, a cheaper iPad.
And I saw there's a couple that are going to come out with a new watch too, bigger interface.
Here it is. Opening bell, March 26, 2018, MetLife.
Yeah.
150th anniversary.
I thought it had to be one of them.
Would you own an Apple Watch? I think a watch.
My son owns one. He loves it.
I would love it, so I don't have to have your phone.
Yeah, my son loves it.
Suzanne uses her a lot. I have the
I've
Samsung.
never really. I don't.
But if you don't have to carry your phone around, I mean, you use your phone for a lot more than.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's texting and.
What else would you use it for, though?
Well, I mean.
Well, they say the health applications are pretty sweet on it.
They're badass. Man.
Yeah.
Even the Samsung one, if I wear it at night, it'll tell me how good I slept. It's cool.
That's why I see Fitbit. I mean, granted, Fitbit's much cheaper, but
actually, I don't know if it's any worse though. I don't know if it lacks any. Well, you can't make phone calls from it like she can on hers.
Apple's profit margin on that watch, I bet you, is outrageous.
Oh, it's a gazillion.
We bought one for my son this Christmas, and it was like, by the time you did Apple Care and everything, I bet it was $500.
Did you get him the cell version?
Yes. And we didn't even sign him up for the cell version, but they're like, apparently the one prior, you can't ever upgrade it to that. And we're like, all right, what do we want to do this? And, you know.
I spend the stupid $10 a month.
I tell my kids all the time that when I die, I want to come back as one of them. I unloaded all my Apple yesterday. Man, I'm feeling decent about the decision today.
God, I remember.
I'm telling you right now, if you can't hold 169, that thing's in for a rough ride, I think.
What is it?
It's at 170. Oh, Facebook's gotten drilled. And that's the unfortunate thing is I hold.
Oh, who's at 170?
Apple.
Oh, yeah. They've been right around there for a while, though.
That's why I'm saying they've been right around 170 to 170. If it can't hold 169, I'm worried about it. Yeah, Facebook's down to 154. That's it. I can't get rid of. I'm in a position on that. I just don't want to get rid of. That one scares me a little bit.
Yeah, just the last month.
It's been the last week has been brutal.
What's the camera stock that had the camera stock? You know that they were.
Oh, GoPro.
I'm going to do the Raleigh house.
You never bought that, did you?
No.
Oh, that's a one-trick pony.
Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take your complaints, try to make your life just a little bit better. We get directly involved, and we do that better than anybody. You know, we had to call. I was thinking about this. What other show can take a call on Monday? A phone call on Monday saying, some roofer took $7,000 of mine. It's been since September, and he hasn't done anything. I can't get my money back. And then on Tuesday, the very next day, what were we told? We're told the guy's going to give him his money back, which
$7 grand.
$7 grand. Just add that to our total. Listen, if you're new to the show, this show started by Tom Martino, who, by the way, has got a pretty cool post up on Facebook if you check it out. He caught some guy smoking pot on a Frontier plane, took a picture of it. It's pretty cool. But I digress. Over $100 million, arguably $200 million in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, year-to-date, or not year-to-date, career-to-date. Career-to-date. I think I just created a new thing, career-to-date. Now, one of the people that help us save people money all the time is in studio with me, Matt Corneo with Compass Insurance. I'm going to give a phone number out. If you've had the same insurance, I know, listen, there's advertising. Matt is a sponsor of ours, but they have saved so many people so much money at Compass Insurance, I'd never even know where to start. It doesn't matter if it's homeowners insurance, an umbrella policy, business insurance, garage keepers, automotive insurance, RV insurance. You guys do through numerous different places. You'll even do stuff like four-wheelers, boats, pretty much insurance. The only thing you don't get into is health insurance and life insurance. Is that correct, Matt?
We actually do life insurance. We don't do any health insurance.
I didn't know you did life insurance.
We do.
I didn't either.
Yeah, we do.
Why did we not know that?
You guys aren't that smart. I don't know.
How many different people do you shop for life insurance?
We've got a broker, so 15, 16, 18 different insurance companies probably.
So if someone's get into life insurance, or maybe they had a 10-year policy that's coming up, you call you guys?
Absolutely.
I did not know you did that.
Yep. We try to do it for existing customers, but yeah, we absolutely.
And you're very competitive in that, I assume.
Oh, very. Yep.
And I got to tell you, I'm not going to say it anymore. I'm trying to get rid of. I got to tell you,
trying to break the habit.
I'm trying to break it. I don't even know I say it till I say it. It's frustrating. And if Tom never brought it up, it would have never have bothered me. That's what kills me. What does he say all the time? I got to tell you.
I'm serious. No, I'm serious.
That's right. He says he's serious. He's serious. He's serious. God, he put it in my head. Now it's going to drive me nuts. I almost said it again. I got to tell you. Shut up, Drew. So, Matt, I would say on average, someone that's had Allstate, State Farm, any of these big guys, any of these captive audiences, they don't shop around for people like you guys do. How many brokers, how many companies do you shop around for? Any 25, 30?
No, I'd say property casualty companies, 13, 14, something like that.
That's your core?
Yes.
All right, those are your go-to, but if there's something weird, you have other
if you talk about our commercial carriers, our life carriers, all that, but guys that we do business with every day is probably a solid 12, 13, 14 insurance companies.
We have people every single time he's in. Please call him up. Call him up as soon as I give this number out. It's 303-771-HELP. It'll go right over to their office right now. They're going to save you money. There's no risk here. I would say, in general, thousands. Now, you're going to say, no, hundreds, I already know. But you're not taking into consideration, or maybe you are, how many times you save them hundreds of dollars, maybe thousands, but you get them much better insurance.
We'll save our average customer probably about 24, 25%. in addition to usually adding a line or some type of additional coverage they did not have prior.
And that's where I argue. You're actually saving them even more, because if they were buying the same coverage, you're going to sell them. Or maybe they're over-covered. How many times has that happened? Someone calls up, they have an umbrella, but they have no assets. I'm not saying that happens a lot, but is there times you're like, whoa, 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 you don't need this?
Yeah, well, there's times where we say, you know what, you could save money by doing this, that, or the other. Why do you have a $100 deductible? Why, where you could look at $1,000 and save yourself, $300, and people are like, I've never thought about it that way. So we're going to give you some scenarios, and I think people like our process also. So let's say that we find a company that can save you money. We have a checklist that we send out with clients where we do the new business application, and we go over the 10 most common claims on an auto policy, the 15 most common claims on a homeowner policy, to say, so that you know what you're buying. When you're spending $3,000 to $5,000 to $8,000 a year on your insurance, don't you want to know what you're buying? Don't you want it really transparent? We'll make it very easy for you so that you can decide how you want to spend your money.
I would argue on homeowners insurance, most people don't even know. Most people don't have any idea unless they've had a hail claim and it goes up a lot. Most people don't even know. It's built into the mortgage. They're used to it just renewing. They might not even know. They might get a small check at the end of the year for the difference. They might owe a little more. A lot of people simply don't shop homeowners because they've had it so long.
I completely agree.
All right, 303-771-HELP. Now, John was on the line. He wanted to know. He inherited some money. John, call back because I do want to talk to you about that. Investing in alternatives. It's funny, we've been talking a lot about Facebook on the breaks and Google. Matt, you think, and this is a consumer topic, there's a couple things here. This stuff going on with Facebook in the government, not just here but in Europe, is pretty big. It's affecting the stock pretty big. They're selling or possibly selling information they're not supposed to about everybody. You talk about a 50 million user. Is it 50 million?
It's some
that might just
number.
be here, but it's crazy. 50 million users selling data they said they weren't going to sell, or selling data that they haven't disclosed to the end user they were going to sell. This could be big trouble, but it brought us to a discussion on Amazon. Amazon is very curious. What is your opinion on Amazon, Matt? Say exactly what you said over the break.
Look, everyone likes to thumb around Amazon.
Yeah.
But they scare me to death on how big and how powerful they've become.
They're looking at getting into everything.
Everything.
Everything. They already dived into the grocery business. Yep. You know the insurance business is coming. They've tried home services, but you said something very true, and not a lot of people realize this when they think of Amazon. Amazon does want to sell and get out.
That's right.
They want to collect the money, the commission, if you will, on the sale. So if they did sell an insurance product like you guys did, they would have a company like Compass
probably
literally doing it behind them, because they don't want their customer service reps over in India or wherever they are answering questions like that. They want to make the deal and get out. They want to sell the product, ship it to you, and get out.
Do you ever have a massive problem with Amazon? You don't get something or whatever?
Never.
And it's outside. If you have an issue with them, try to get a hold of them.
Oh, they're easy to get a hold of.
See, I think they're miserable to get a hold of. You can never talk to a live person. You can do the live web chat thing.
I would bet you $20, $20. I could actually have them call me back within 3 minutes at any given time. Anytime. I don't care.
I've not had that experience.
It's very easy. You got to log into your account, and you have to know where to go, and you hit call me. And literally, you put in the phone number you're at. Within usually 30 seconds, they're calling you with no hold time. Here's how good Amazon is. And anybody out there that uses it, I'd love to hear your Amazon experiences. But listen, I didn't say what I was going to say, but anyhow, here's what I'm saying. Amazon, man, I totally lost my train of thought, because all I think about now is not saying what I don't want to say anymore. This whole thing's going to kill me. I got to tell you. I just thinking not to say it throws off my entire path. It's not good. 303-713-8255. I'm going to take a call. This is John. John, so you inherited some money, and you want to know where else to invest it besides the stock market, right?
Yes, sir, that's right.
How much money are you talking about?
Over $1 million.
Well, you can do lots of things with $1 million. I mean, you can do something really safe and make 3 or 4%, and it's not bad money. What I like doing outside of the stock market is I call them, they're not necessarily micro loans, but I like doing second mortgages, first mortgages. I like finding a piece of property where someone can't qualify for a second, but there's plenty of equity, and I'm comfortable loaning them $50,000, $100,000, whatever it happens to be. But the equity's got to be there. I don't really care about the credit score when I look at this. I look at the people. I want to make sure they're good people. I like families. I like people that have kids that aren't going to be just getting up and moving because I don't want to chase my money. But the most important part is you make sure the equity's there.
So there's no risk in that, though? We've done the rental home, and it's just a nightmare.
I didn't say rental home. I said lending money to people that want a second. Or how about marijuana buildings? I finally just sold one of mine off. You know, people can't get traditional lending in marijuana businesses. So if you find someone that's in the business and they want to expand, you can find a building that's worth $2 million. Maybe they have $1 million in cash to put down, and you can walk in the back end and lend them the money, and you still have $1 million in equity. That is pretty safe. There's nothing that's fail-proof. Let's face it, if a nuclear weapon goes off in California, your money's probably gone regardless. So there's nothing foolproof.
Okay. Could you give me some contact information on that?
Well, you just tell people you're lending money. I mean, I guess you could advertise it, but I mean, yeah, I guess I'm advertising right now. If people need a second and there's equity in their house, you know, live at Troubleshooter.com. And this guy maybe too. I mean,
Mark,
yes?
What about Plum Creek? What about getting him in touch with Plum Creek, Vince?
Oh, yeah, Vince will
Maybe
send.
Vince can vet some loans out for him.
Yeah, they're on our referral list. Listen to this, John. Call Plum Creek on our referral list.
Plum Creek Lending. I can give him the number.
Here's a cool part about finding a cool little local lender like that. When Vince gets stuff that he can't do, in other words, they just simply don't qualify, he'll send it over to me to look at the deal. And some of them I do, some of them I don't. But lending money right now with interest rates starting to come back up is absolutely a great time to start doing it. I mean, it really is. Second mortgages, people that can't qualify, stuff like that, it is absolutely a wonderful time to do that. And speaking of that, Ideal Home Loans. You know, the one thing about Ideal that I really love, they do VA loans, they do, oh my goodness, they do pretty much any kind of loan you want to do, no matter what. Here's what I like to. If you're in a 30-year product and you want to pay your house off faster, you call them up at 303-867-7000. You apply or apply on loan at idealhomeloans.com. But you call them and say, I'm in a 30. I want to pay it off faster. They're going to look at it. They're going to look at your cash flow. They're going to look at your equity stake. And they're going to say, okay, maybe you should get into a 12-year product or a 15-year product. Choose your own term, which is really cool. Then, if interest rates drop, here's what Ideal Home Loans will do. If they drop within a certain amount of time since they refi you or your new purchase, they're going to refi you for free into a lower interest rate. They back up what they do. Brent Ivinson is a great guy, and his people are great. If you're looking for that home loan, if you want to take a little cash out, if you have credit card debt, I want you to add up what you pay in interest. You're much better off getting a different product, refining your house, taking that money out of your house, only paying about 4 or 5% on it, and paying off 20 to 25% on credit card debt. It's going to save you so much money over time. Ideal Home Loans, 303-867-7000, 303-867-7000 for your ideal home loan.
This report is brought to you by Lowe's.
A couple of trouble spots to watch out for is lunch.
Yeah. Sounds like you did it right. He did put the grout under the pan and all that.
Well, there's got to be a play.
So what's he say the problem is?
It's loose, so I can't tell him why. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be done, so.
Well, there's got to be play on it there.
I know it 3 times. But when you answered Ideal earlier on the Rockies thing, he said 40 lenders. It could have gone to either one.
Yeah. Damn it.
The question could have gone to either one. Applied to either one.
So there, Mark.
So you're both right.
No. How did we come to that? It was trivia. He was wrong. How are we both right?
So when you think of 40 lenders, you think of I have to think the exact words you said, so I think they would have.
Even Dan's not buying it, and he wants to be right.
No, that's the way I wasn't listening real close when you said it.
I You know, yours was the first one I thought of. Then I thought of Rockies, but I don't know what. I can't remember specifically what you said, but I think it applied to both.
So these markets are really.
Where's it at now? Negative.
Well,
What's
no,
the Dow?
no. Dow clicked up a little 93, but Nasdaq. 1%. It was down a little.
My wife's getting real serious about wanting to retire once she's going to start trading.
Oh, geez.
Oh, geez. I know.
All little time.
Fundamentals, baby.
Yeah. No, we've done, with what we've done over the years, we've done well. I can't kick. We've timed a lot of stuff just right.
I think Amazon and cars will be a big one.
I do. I agree.
I think Amazon's going to go a lot bigger before they get
I agree. Because you can take it anywhere to get it fixed, as long as the.
I tell you, I think they're going into auto parts next. I heard they've looked into Checker and a few of those guys about just outright purchase.
Why would they just? Do they need to purchase somebody like that to get into the business?
You forget about the back end what they're doing. Look at their distribution.
No. Auto parts would be very easy because people just would get it boom next day.
No. What I'm saying though is they could also set up lockers there wherever there's a Checker Auto Parts, just like they're doing with 7-Eleven in New York, just like with their deal with Kohl's.
With Kohl's.
Do you realize you can walk in and return your Amazon wardrobe right at Kohl's? You don't even got to pack it up and ship it back. They'll fold it, pack it, ship it. You get your.
And Kohl's is doing it basically cost neutral too, so that they can get people in their stores.
Yeah, they're doing it for Walmart. They're foot traffic.
Mm-hmm.
But it's smart. They're also doing it to be a strategic partner with them because they've got to be a little afraid of them.
Right.
They're going to start shipping out. I can go on right now and order 5 pairs of jeans, all the same, all different sizes, try them all on, wash them, do whatever I want, wear them for that matter. As long as I ship them back in 30 days, I get all my money back. In fact, I'm no longer going to buy clothes. I'm just going to borrow them.
You could almost do that.
All right, the Raleigh House, individualized treatment plans. Listen, they're medically based. If you know an addict or there's an addict in your life, learn to talk to him. Try to get him in treatment. We set up this phone number, Tom and myself, with the Raleigh House for people that have people in their lives that don't know how to talk to addicts. Maybe you've tried. Maybe you end up just in a fight, screaming at your kids, screaming at your spouse, screaming at your brother. You know, there's lots of things that could be going on in their life that you don't understand. You need to call the Raleigh House to learn how to talk to the addict in your life. 720-893-5559. Here's what I like about them. We sat down and talked with them. They take a different approach to individuals. They do environmental, psychological, individual therapy, group therapy. They bring the family and friends in when it's time. It's medically based. It's real treatment. It's based on the individual and the best thing for them. If you want to learn to talk to that loved one that's got a problem, call the Raleigh House, 720-893-5559, 720-893-5559, or you can always find them at referralist.com. All right, 303-713-8255. I wanted to go back to that Amazon conversation we were having with Matt and even Deputy Dan. You know, they will be doing a lot of stuff. We were just talking about auto parts. You think their next move, Matt's going to be buying auto parts?
I read an article on it here, I don't know, about 6 months ago or whatever, and that they've been sniffing around some guys.
I swear I read something that they were looking at Rock Auto, which is actually pretty big. Think of the footprint, though, if they bought something like Checker. I don't think O'Reilly's is around anymore, but whatever's around. Napa's are mostly franchises. But if they buy the big ones on the block, Pep Boys would be a big one. In a lot of places, they're not just tire centers or whatever. They're actually auto parts. You know, the footprint would be amazing, though. You already picked up the grocery stores. Let's say you pick up the auto parts. In New York and other places, they've got deals with 7-Eleven where they set up the lockers. You can order something at 9 a.m., go to your locker in 7-Eleven in New York City and pick it up a little after. Now, think of Kohl's. Most people don't realize they're a strategic partner with Kohl's. If you buy anything Amazon wardrobe or pretty much anything fulfilled and sold by Amazon that's clothing, you can take it back to any Kohl's. They'll pack it, they'll ship it, and you'll get your money back. Their footprint is getting bigger and bigger, which brings me to this, distribution. Pretty soon when you order something, they could, if you want it quicker, they could actually cut out UPS, the post office, FedEx.
There's a lot of talk about that, too.
That's right. Now, they'll never be the size. Someone can't grow. They're not going to scare FedEx. They're not going to scare UPS. If you look at that hub and spoke system those airlines have, it would take 100 years to get there. Or they got to purchase that company. I mean, that's how massive these are. So opening up in small places, but if you want your package quick and you can get it and you're in a metropolis and you can get it in a couple hours, you might just drive over to 7-Eleven and pick it up instead of having it shipped. I mean, it's really ingenious, but you are afraid of them.
Not as my business, I'm not. I think that Americans should be concerned about Amazon putting brick and mortar away. I think that we want things so cheap that we're willing to drive ourselves out of a job.
Now, everybody used to say that about who?
Walmart?
Walmart.
Sure.
Everybody would say, every ma and pa would say, we don't want Walmart coming in here because, here, I'll take one. I think Woodland Park for people in Colorado. People did not want that, or some people did not want that Woodland Park Walmart to go in. In fact, to the point where they made Walmart shell out so much money to make that one look a little different. I think there's like a statue of a deer or elk in front of it that cost a fortune they made them do. But I've never bought that argument. As a consumer, I hate the fact if I've got to go buy a can of SpaghettiOs and there happens to be a storm coming, the ma and pa's used to raise the prices and charge the hell out of you when you'd walk in to buy it.
I understand those arguments too, but Toys R Us is now gone.
Thank God. Toys R Us, as a side note, for the last 10 or 15 years has been the dirtiest, crappiest store I've ever walked in. That one down by the mall, Park Meadows, I'm going 10 years ago. You would walk in there, and I swear to God, no one ever cleaned it.
Yeah,
the place
white
was
vinyl
dirty.
floors that are all ugly and nasty.
Asbestos probably everywhere in there. I mean, it was crazy. Toys R Us was a dying dinosaur, and they never changed anything. Walmart chased them away.
Yeah.
Toys R Us sucks. So you're going to say how Toys R Us should still be around?
Don't put me on that side. I'm just saying that I wonder what the cost of cheap is truly going to cost us in the long run.
How about KB Toys? When you and I were, how old are you?
I'm 42.
Okay, we're close. When you and I were younger, we'd go to the mall with our parents. There'd be a KB Toys or whatever they were called.
Did you see that they're coming back?
That's right, because Toys R Us is going away.
Yeah.
But that's the footprint for a toy store. We already figured out you can't do that. Walmart, though, they're ingenious. You know what they do during Christmas? They sell at a loss at toys. I mean, they do. That's how they get all the traffic to sell all their other merchandise. They don't care. They literally lose money on toys in December and November simply to get the traffic, the foot traffic in there for Black Friday and everything else. I like Amazon. I like my life being easier. I do. I mean, I really do. Now, hopefully they never do talk shows. They never get into the talk show business. Can you imagine if they bought a radio station, though? Or if they bought Sirius XM? Think about that. If Amazon got into the communications business, let's get even bigger. Comcast, AT&T. We talk about Google, and we talk about Facebook getting into people's business. How about Comcast out there? Think about that.
Oh, sure.
If they have the ability, whether they do or not, if you have their triple play, they can listen in on your phone and say, well, Comcast would never listen in on your phone.
Look through your cameras.
They get a FISA warrant. They literally pull it for the government, exactly what you talked about. So anybody that says that Comcast can't listen in on your phone, you don't know what you're talking about. You're one FISA warrant away. Arguably, they can listen anytime. I don't know. Now, anywhere you surf, that porn site you go to, that whatever site you go to, whatever it is, they're your internet provider if you have that triple play. It doesn't matter Google. They know what you Google. Google knows what you Google, but they know you go to Google. Then on top of that, that little box you have on top of your TV, they know your TV habits like you can't believe. Why they haven't ran Nielsen out of business yet, I have no idea, because they can track every show you watch. If you turn to a commercial during The Apprentice, they know you turned during that commercial and went somewhere else. They know your exact viewing habits. They know your internet habits. They can listen to every call you have. That's scary to me.
Mark, something I think is more concerning about information going out is all these DNA testing things, that information getting back to health insurance companies.
See, I am such... Tom and I have this argument sometimes with health insurance. If I'm more prone to get something because of my DNA, if I'm more prone to get cancer of some sort because my dad had it or my grandfather, or let's say it ran forever, if I'm more prone to get heart disease, if I'm a smoker and I'm more prone to get lung cancer, I don't understand why Obamacare, now that's pretty much going to be gone, but I've never understood why I should be penalized for other stuff. Now people go, well, you can't help your genetics. You're right, you can't. You absolutely can't help your genetics, but when I buy a house, if it's in one area that's high crime rate, my insurance could be very high there, and I have nothing to do with that. There's nothing to do with that besides I'm moving there. Where if I move somewhere else, that exact same house, exact same value could be different. So I just don't see the difference.
Well, they do it with life insurance. They ask those questions.
You're right. How come with life insurance you can get a big discount if everything looks good?
I don't know.
But with health insurance, forget about it. I know. It's just crazy, though. It's crazy. Okay, I'm sorry. Tom, thank you for holding.
Sure, Mark. It's a pleasure. Thanks for taking me.
What's going on, man?
Well, first off, I think I waited long enough to ask you a Jerry Seinfeld trivia because you said you're the king.
I am the king. Thank you.
No.
Which character said to Jerry, "It's gold, Jerry, it's gold"?
That would be the other comedian that is on there, and he's the one that also gave him the suit. His name is, it's one name, he always calls him.
That's right.
Go ahead, Matt.
I know. It's Banyan, right?
That's right.
Banyan, that is correct. All right, Mark, sorry, we've taken you off your throne.
Well, I told him who it was. What's going on, Tom?
All right, well, listen, I recently had a rotator cuff tear about 3-4 months ago. I went into 2 different doctors. One had an independent clinic. They gave me a cortisol shot, did a little work around it. My bill was about $400. I had a second appointment with another doctor about a week later over at the CU Health Clinic.
Okay.
And so I received a bill for that. They did exactly the same procedure. They gave me another cortisol shot, and I did a few things.
That's a lot of cortisone in 2 weeks in the same place, but keep going.
Know. And,
I mean, it just doesn't sound right.
I agree with you. So I left there. I got a bill from the first doctor, was about $400. I got a bill from the second doctor from CU Health, was about $350.
So,
I paid that.
Okay.
I got a second bill from CU Medicine for that second doctor for another $473. Now, when I called, they told me, well, the CU clinic was $322 just to go there.
Yeah.
And the doctor and the visit was an additional $433.
Yeah, it's like going into the ER. They charge you for everything. I mean, that's just the way it is.
That's just standard practice. Is that right?
Yeah, well, unfortunately it is. I mean, ERs are crazy. You can get 3-4 different bills.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, it would be nice. I mean, and then they're telling me that I was notified of that.
But what's amazing to me is how cheap everything is. He says $400 for anything in the health world is crazy. But no, I mean, it sounds like it's all on the up and up, Tom. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. I thought you might have had some feedback about that, having to be notified or something.
No.
It just it tweaks me a little bit.
That's a lot of cortisone, though.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you.
All right.
And it did help for a while, but it wore off pretty quick.
That stuff scares me because, man, I had a buddy that he didn't want to get his knee fixed, so they'd shoot him up with that. And he wouldn't feel anything in it. But then I start thinking, geez, if it's not telling your brain there's pain there, how do you know you're not screwing it up? Worse and worse.
Those are the cases where stem cells are supposed to be really viable.
And that clinic coming up would be really cool. Okay, listen. Dan, you were wrong last time on trivia that I did. I said, who is this? And you were wrong. I'm going to let you redeem yourself right now. So, it is time, once again, for Troubleshooter Trivia. You ready? You ready?
Ready.
You're ready. Who came to this country with $300 in his pocket? $300 in his pocket, Ellis Island, made his way to Denver on a bus, started fabricating granite.
The art. Mitch Floria?
Very good. Mitch Floria, Art of Granite. Now, has he been to my house?
A couple times.
3 times. You owe me lunch. Actually, listen. I just almost did it. Actually, listen. If you want the best granite out there, you call Mitch Floria and Art of Granite. It's artofgranite.net. If you get the kitchen done, they'll do the bath for free. But here's how I sell Mitch. He's a perfectionist. You're going to get great pricing, and you're going to get the best job ever. He's an artist when he comes in. He's going to do the best job. He'll let you use his wholesale account if he doesn't have the stone or slab you want. But if you go down to his place, you're going to find out he's got so many different kinds of granite, it'll blow you away. 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919. You can also take pictures of your kitchen, your bathroom, email them to him. He'll give you a quote over the phone, and it's generally right about there. 303-386-5919, Mitch Floria, artofgranite.net.
This is Denver's Talk Station.
Do you want to get this asbestos update today or wait till tomorrow?
So the Banyan, I remember Ovaltine. That was one of his big things.
Ovaltine,
Why do they call it Ovaltine? They should call it Roundtine.
Should call it what?
Roundtine. Roundtine. What kind of golf ball?
The best, Jerry.
What kind of golf ball did
Kramer hit?
Kramer lodge into the well?
Titleist.
That's what I was going to guess because the only golf ball I know, but it wasn't because I would have known it.
Kramer goes, what did Kramer say after that? After he brought out the Titleist. 0-1. I got to bring you something up on liability insurance. I got to come down and get it. It's that one, Betty Hernandez.
Amazon. And then the data they collect, they know everything you buy.
And I'm an Amazon junkie. I got something coming to my door every day.
You know what's even scarier? They sell these. I don't do them just because I usually go to Costco or Sam's, but they sell these little things that you hit the button and it orders it. So it's stuff like Tide laundry detergent. It's stuff that you use monthly.
A button on your phone?
No. It's wherever you would keep it in the cabinet. So if you keep your laundry detergent here, you put it there. When you're running low, you hit the button, it automatically orders it, and it shows up 2 days later.
It's not like the new smart refrigerators that have that panel on the front.
Similar, but it's for around the entire house.
So you have these little units that you put around the whole house?
They're little tiny buttons. They're no bigger than this. It'd be a picture of the Tide with the Tide logo. You hit that button, it automatically orders it on your Prime account, and it shows up.
Your Wi-Fi?
Do you have one of those Echoes or Dots or any of those things?
I got a bunch of Echo Dots. Yeah. They're all the same. Just some have speakers.
Okay. Brian just got one, and I was teasing him. I'm like, yeah, man, they're going to listen to you yelling at your wife. And
Oh, they do.
Stuff, so.
If you don't think they're listening, how the hell do they know their wake-up name? Think about that. You say, Alexa, and it talks to you. If it's not always listening, how the hell does it know you just said Alexa?
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's
creepy.
We had one. We were watching a news article on Channel 9 talking about a news article on a different channel that Alexa picked up something and ordered this dollhouse for this kid. So they were doing an article on how Alexa can hear certain things and order stuff, okay? And that's what happened. So you understand, 9 News is doing a story on how another news station did a story on how Alexa, while it was going on and they said Alexa, our Alexa started talking to us because it kept hearing Alexa. It was weird as hell, man.
Something my wife has in the kitchen, one of them, when she talks to Alexa, Alexa's talking, and the other one hears Alexa.
Yeah. Mine's called...
What is it, the Dot?
Suzanne's is Alexa. You can call it Dot or...
I think she's got a Dot and Alexa and something else. There's like 3 of them.
There's only like 3 names you can give them, though.
How much do they cost?
The Dots are real cheap, man. Like $39.
Okay.
I got one down on my desk just for stuff like, Alexa, what's the weather going to be like? Or Alexa, what's the score of this game? Or Alexa, what's Microsoft stock?
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, ours in the kitchen.
No, but you're right. You know they're fucking listening to
yeah,
everything.
they are.
So they get a FISA warrant. They can tap into Alexa.
Amazing.
Yeah. Ours in the kitchen, my wife will ask the weather and the traffic and something else so she knows how soon she has to leave. And it's talking, and every once in a while the other thing hears what it says, and it starts talking to that one. Wow. I know, it's
so creepy.
And I know a lot of people have that little camera covered up on their computer.
No, yeah.
They say there's people drive down the street and scan it. Look at, if you wear glasses, they can take the reflection off your glasses to look at your screen if you're doing banking and stuff to get a kid. I hear this stuff and I go, oh, you gotta be kidding me. We got, what was it last week? We had somebody talking about how they clone credit cards.
I still don't know how they do those chips. I kind of, some calls I'm like,
these guys install things in a gas pump, so when you use your card in a gas pump.
Those aren't chip readers though.
Well, they're reading the whole card or something.
I don't know how they counterfeit a chip. I don't know if it's possible. I'm sure it's possible. All right, 303-713-8255. Daryl's got a comment on an LLC and RV insurance. Daryl, we were talking, I'm saying this for everybody else's benefit. I was talking to Matt with Compass Insurance. I said, if I buy a RV and put it in an LLC, does the insurance cost more than if I do it personally? And yes, it does. What's your comment?
Yeah, I just caught the tail end of that. So, yes, you can get insurance. I did it.
Yep.
And I know why you're doing the LLC for tax purposes, right?
Well, I haven't decided yet. Yeah, and I got to tell you, well, for tax purposes, yes, I would do it for tax purposes. This year, as we talked to, go ahead. You're talking about an LLC in Montana, that kind of thing.
Correct.
Well, hold on though, Daryl. When I say tax purposes, I've got the opportunity to use it and literally use it during work for work reasons. I mean more for write-off reasons and an LLC out of the state. But I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, I'm talking about the license fee.
Yeah,
right?
Correct.
Yeah, so...
See, I've thought about that. But hold on, Daryl, and I say this because everybody out there might not know what you're talking about. If you register an RV or an airplane or a bus or any large purchase that's a motor vehicle, in some states, depending on where you live, if you live in Castle Rock, it can be, I think, 7.9%. So if it's a $100,000 vehicle, it's a $108,000 vehicle. If you register it in a state where there's no sales tax, then it's a $100,000 vehicle. But you shouldn't be doing that unless if you truly have an LLC there and you truly use it there or park it there. I mean, it does happen, but that's what Daryl's talking about. Keep going, Daryl.
Okay, so if you go through Good Sam's they will do a search for you and they will come back and give you a quote.
On insurance?
Through to insure
an
RV.
But it is going to cost more than if you did it as an individual, is what Matt's point was.
Yeah, but not much. I mean, you're talking maybe $500 to $1,000 more. I mean, it's not much.
Well, I appreciate that. Yep, go ahead. Go ahead.
But anyway, Mark, that's your best success, and I'm not a salesman. I'm not trying to market anything. But Good Sam's, if you're a Good Sam's member, call Good Sam's before you even buy the RV, and they'll give you a quote, and you'll know what your premium's going to be. But
got it. I appreciate that. I would think the most aggressive, I think Good Sam's is kind of like AARP. They're backed by other insurance companies, right?
I don't know a lot about them. We don't deal with them very often.
They just do recreational vehicles and stuff.
Yeah, they don't do autos and things like that.
But my point is, do they actually own the insurance company? I don't think so. I think they're a reinsurer.
I don't know.
I don't know either. 303-713-8255. This is serious. Joseph says you're a disabled vet. You had lung surgery. You woke up and your bank accounts are empty.
Yes. I was at the VA hospital for a little bit, had surgery on my right lung. I came home, and the soon-to-be ex-wife maxed out the credit cards and emptied the bank accounts and basically left me with nothing while I was gone. You know, after I paid for her immigration papers, she just disappeared. So,
wow, the plot thickens. Where's she from?
Costa Rica.
How long have you guys been married?
A year.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, my God, you played the lottery and you lost. I mean, I don't know what ramifications you have. If you guys were married, everything was joint accounts. I don't know.
Costa Rica and the Philippines is famous for this.
Well, I'm sure Russia and everywhere else is too.
you know, my lawyer said, you know, basically, hey, you guys were married, so technically she has rights to, you know, the funds and everything, which...
Well, she does.
Leaving me stuck right now because...
Did you have any idea, Joseph, this was going to go down? Did you have any inkling?
No.
Man.
Did you have a prenuptial?
What's that?
Did you have a prenuptial agreement?
No.
God,
So,
Joseph, I don't even know what to tell you besides I'm sorry and don't do it again.
Yeah, I'm stuck right now because she left me with nothing, and, you know, bills are piling up and I can't work because of my right lung issues, and I don't know what to do. I don't even have the money for gas to get to my treatments that I go to the VA every three days a week for my right lung. So
did she get American citizenship? I'm sorry.
You guys know.
She okey-doked you, man.
What's that?
She okey-doked you. There's no doubt about it.
So I was just trying to figure out if you guys might know of any veterans organizations that assist, you know, veterans in their times of need and stuff like that.
Joseph, did she get her American citizenship while she was married to you?
No.
Well, you do have some recourse through immigration.
Well, okay, but Clint, I mean, how much money are we talking about? Let's get down to real. When we talk about these cases sometimes, how much money are we talking about?
That she took?
Yeah, how much money altogether?
It was a little over $4,000.
Okay, so Clint, now go ahead. Yeah, exactly. That's where I was going with this. There's nothing. If she took off with $1 million, we have lots of things we could think of, but I mean, we're talking $4,000. Hold on, Suzanne might actually have someone at the VA's office we refer to as an angel. 303-713. 8255 Pro Auto Care, 303 Pro Auto. You know, these guys have what they call the Pro Pack. Check this out. Not only do you get a lube oil filter with the good oil, it's a semi-synthetic. I think he uses Kendall. I used to sell that. So you get good semi-synthetic oil up to 5 quarts. You get new wiper blades, which is crazy. So you get the wiper blades, the oil change, a tire rotation, and then they top off all the fluid. Just the windshield washer fluid. I was at Walmart the other day and had to buy some. It's like $2.29 for a gallon, and the cars eat a ton of this. You can't buy what they give you for $28.95. You can't buy it. Lube oil filter, the labor, the tire rotation, and the wiper blades, $28.95. You got to call 303 Pro Auto, make an appointment. He's got multiple locations. You can pick when you call up 303 Pro Auto. You can check him out and check out the deal at 303proauto.com. But Al and the guys are great. They'll be your car nanny. They've been around a long time. And more importantly, being in that business, I got to tell you, Al, I did it again. I got to tell you, I can't stop saying it. I like it. Now I'm interrupting my own commercials with it. 303 Pro Auto. Give Al a call. Take advantage of that special. He's a great guy is where I was going. They run an honest, ethical automotive repair center. It's family-owned. It's family-operated. Al is salt of the earth. He's a good guy. He does a lot of work outside of there for different organizations and kids. Al is a great man no matter how you look at it. 303 Pro Auto, 303proauto.com. I got to tell you.
This report is brought to you by Lowe's.
It's so weird. I don't even know I'm going to say it till after.
It's okay. I like it.
It's okay.
I like it. I gotta tell you. Just put
I gotta tell you. You know what? I feel like Vinny. Hey, I gotta tell you.
That's right. That's how you do it.
$4,000 he got rid of her? This is a freaking bargain.
Absolutely.
What is he complaining about?
I thought it was going to be a $500,000.
No, he was trying to. He was going up for. He was getting ready to hit.
He can get in even with her to get her deported.
He just said, well, you're right. He saved money on it.
Oh, this is cheaper than divorce.
Oh.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Man, I thought we were talking about big money.
This is a liability for a business. Would they be able to...
I know, I'm looking at you
what
like...
this guy did, he took off...
I could already tell the guy was looking for handouts from us.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be a much bigger number than
the call was nothing more to... I need money for gas.
Because... Yeah. And this is just all this looks like is general liability, so it doesn't look like he has any kind of completed operations or anything. Yeah, he could.
No, not for the completed operations for damage done because he didn't complete.
What?
We should have asked earlier how much money, I guess.
I don't know.
Man, that sure
Here's
lives
the problem.
I thought
These certificates
like
generally
Danny
aren't
lost
as good
a couple
as the
$100,000.
Anyway, they get these certificates so that they can get on the job. Gotcha. So, I mean, who knows if this certificate's even legit?
It is. They came out there. I just didn't know what it all.
Yeah, it
Well,
was
what's that
nothing
thing
wrong
about
with trying to file a claim then.
And then,
Kidnap kids,
what I would
and
do.
that seminar Tom told me
Exactly what I
about,
would do.
about all
You're right,
kidnapped
it's
kids.
very
There was a group
loosey-goosey
there
and stuff
talking
like that.
about these Miller breds out of the Philippines,
Very good. Okay.
Costa Rica and stuff that come over.
Sorry, I just totally thought of something I did not do.
What?
I have one. I did Art of Granite.
No, you did everybody.
No, I didn't. I forgot Golden Orchard.
Oh,
Yeah. No Golden Orchard.
It's not on here. I don't. It's on mine.
It's house.
No, I for.
Does he know what a divorce costs?
No, but for.
Yeah, no kidding. Call an attorney for that.
You guys don't pick up on that shit. I mean, honestly.
Real, how did you know
I
it was
did.
just $4 grand?
Because it's just, I thought $4 grand was high. I thought he was going to say $300.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you.
I thought it was a couple.
He was already asking for gas money in his own way.
No, I know he was asking, but how'd you know that just from what you're reading on and in hearing?
I didn't pick up on that either, Dan. I thought it was a lot more.
Who's got just $4 grand?
You guys are getting soft. I'm going to start calling you white bread.
White bread.
And
Wonder
bologna.
bread. Wonder bread.
Wonder bread and white bread.
I'm generic.
You're getting soft, dude. Biscuits and mustard.
Hey, but I'm dang old. I'm a little tougher.
You're a bagel.
Oh,
He's got a hard shell but a weird inside.
No, I got completely suckered on that. Completely.
Nvidia's down 7% today.
Who is?
Nvidia.
What?
Nvidia's down 7% today.
NVIDIA. That means you know who's going to be tied to that is all your cryptocurrency.
You know it. Well, Micron was down massive yesterday for the same difference.
Cryptocurrency is the best thing out there. Everything needs to change to crypto. All right, 303-713-8255. We've got a ton. I am so happy to say we got a lot of stuff done doing the last couple days. My God, we got that one guy $7 grand back. I still want to do an over and under, though. He called yesterday. I don't want to get into it. I told Lance I wasn't going to mess with him anymore. I'm glad he did the right thing. Lance, please give that guy his $7,000 back, and we'll go from there. I digress on that. I do want to talk about Golden Orchard, though, real quick. You know, I was talking to Farrell Johnson. She's the owner of Golden Orchard, and I feel horrible. Her husband passed away, and God bless you and God bless him, and our feelings and our thoughts are with you, Farrell. Her and her husband, ironically, own old age homes, but they designed them for that purpose. They went in and actually built, they were in the construction business, they actually went in and designed them for individual care with people with Alzheimer's and dementia and memory care problems. So they designed them around the patients that would be in there, and they've got numerous facilities around. They've got 2 in Centennial, 1 in Wheat Ridge, and they're always looking at other stuff. But first of all, I'm sorry you lost your husband, but I get so many compliments on you guys. They do have a couple beds open down there, so I want you to give them a call. Everything's pretty much all-inclusive there, too. Your meals, your trips, your room and board are basically covered. It's generally about $3,000-4,000 a month, but you can call and talk to them. It's a great place to live. They've got patios, and they're large landscape yards and spacious bathrooms and just the whole bit. They're really good people. 303-795-0784. Take a look at the pictures of the facilities at goldenorchard.com, goldenorchard.com, or call Farrell, 303-795-0784. Gene, what's going on with you?
Hello?
Yes, Gene.
Yeah, I just had an issue. I live in an apartment complex here in Colorado Springs, and my vehicle was towed on the 13th of November of last year. And the only reason I've waited this long to do anything is I saw some stakes put up to mark the property line that surveyors came in, and I'm contending that my car was not even parked on my apartment complex property.
Do they still have your car?
No. I got it the next day. This happened. I parked it Sunday night.
How much did it cost you?
$220, $221.
So do you think, how much money do you think you would have to spend to attempt to get that back, Gene?
Oh, I've got it back, so. I mean, I had to pay. And
no. I'm saying you paid $220 to them. You're basically saying, hey, you didn't have the right to tow this car because it wasn't on your property. That's your contention.
Yep.
How much do you think you would spend to try to get that $220 back is what I'm asking you.
If I took it to small claims, I don't know.
Well, you'd spend $55 in small claims, but when you go to small claims court, okay, I don't think you have a case. I'm going to leave it at that. Whether they had jurisdiction to tow it or not, if it was somewhere where they thought they even had jurisdiction, I think they can tow it, man. Was it right or wrong? I don't know, nor do I really care. I think you're fighting an uphill battle.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah, because I've asked them. They said, well, we have pictures. I said, well, they said they sent them to the property manager. I asked the property manager, no, they haven't seen pictures.
See, they're
blowing me off, and I asked them, well, can you send them to me? And I gave them my email address and everything, and they said, well, we'll try to get around to it, and they're still blowing me off.
They're blowing you off. And I'm not saying technically you're not right. I mean, you very well could be right, but I don't think you're going to get the $220 back. Honestly, I'd handle it a different way. I'd hang out at the front, and anybody trying to rent an apartment, I'd tell them what a bunch of deadbeats the management is.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
but
they're going to even a neighbor of mine got towed, and I'm trying to get a hold of her to see where her vehicle was parked.
Yeah.
When they did it, and like I said, they said mine was blocking the drive, and there's absolutely no way. I've been driving for 50 years.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way I would have parked and left it in a spot that
don't let this
blocked an entryway.
I understand. Don't let this eat you alive, man. I mean, my God, it sounds like this happened back in November. Look, do you hear the frustration in this guy? He is so upset over these people. It's crazy. It's crazy. I would take that energy and literally hang out up front. I'd get a nice sign saying, don't move in here. They're going to tow your car for no reason. Something along those lines. But trying to get that $220 back, I just don't see it. I don't think it's a place for small claims court either. I just don't. I really don't. In a real survey, in order for you to get that report from the surveyor, my point was it could cost you a fortune. You know, this is commercial property in a survey. You could be thousands of dollars. They're not going to share that with you if they were actually getting a survey. All right, listen, 303-713-8255. The other thing, please, 303-713-HELP. No, I'm sorry, 303-771-HELP. We still have the Compass Insurance Group over there answering those phones. Have we gotten any feedback? You guys saved any money?
Yeah, actually we have. Let me pull up a few. I didn't
pull one up. Listen, while he's pulling it up, I almost said it again, but I didn't. While he's pulling them up, here's the deal. If you call up there and you send your declaration, all you got to do is pull your declaration out, maybe pull it up on your computer. Take your cell phone, take a picture of it, and text it or email it over to Compass. Just do it. There's no reason not to do it. You could save thousands. You could get better insurance. They'll tell you if you need an umbrella, but mainly they can save you a lot of money. Go ahead. What have we got so far?
Well, we've got a couple. We had a family in Centennial. They were paying $5,250 between their auto and their home. We moved them to Progressive. The total cost was $4,085, so savings of $1,165.
That's $100 a month. That's big money.
We had a client with USAA. They were with USAA over 15 years. We saved them $683.
Oh, you guys are awesome. 303-771-HELP. Call them right now. We'll be back tomorrow. Tom will be back with me. 303-771-HELP.
Good.
All right.
How did you get those two that fast?
They usually send them over pretty quick as they do them. The ones that call first thing are the ones that we do right away. I mean, a lot of times people are waiting.
Just to have
hear our number. Yeah.